The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
This time on Nude Clan. Now show me on the doll where Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne touched you.
Shall we play a game?
You got several things to do. You got work, kids in school. What do you do when it's all over?
How do you hand something from one player to another?
Dark soul light. Turn on the TV, pick up the controller and play some games with the
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of your favorite weekly gaming podcast, Nude Clan.
I believe...
I am your host. You believe what? What do you
I was
believe?
going to say I believe the intro should be Welcome to the Cathedral of Shadows, where demons gather.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you might say, are you guys really weekly? And I would say, according to Podcast Addict, we come out every few days. So that's even more often than weekly. So fuck you people.
Anyway,
It hasn't been months. It's been days since you heard us last. Days.
especially if you're listening to this way after the fact and you're just like marathoning all the episodes, it's probably been like a couple seconds. So we're
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're in the future, how is it?
Yeah.
How much worse is it? You're Schweiss.
Yes, I am Caleb Schweiss.
I'm Zach.
I'm A4.
And today, guys, if you can't tell because you can't read or understand what Zach said in the intro, we are going to review Shin Megami Tensei III Nocturne. That's what this game is called. Not whatever foolishness was uttered before this episode started.
Thank you, Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne.
This is a game that's a long time coming. It was gifted to me and Joe, or me and Craig, someone years and years and years ago.
Like
and now,
near
of course,
the
we
start of
pulled...
the show, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And now we've pulled others in to...
Well, that's
You know.
what me and A4 was actually just talking about. We got fucked. It was not meant to be our game.
Yeah, you
It
guys
was
got
meant
this
to
game
be-
near the start of the show when it was a very different cast of characters on this show, and now the only person who's reviewing the game that's taken like more than half a decade is you. That like it was intended
That's true.
for. So that's
It was a long game, but it wasn't that long. You know, like I thought it was... You'd think 5 years? No, it was like 44 hours.
Look,
Nothing
we had
crazy.
a lot of Conan Exiles to play in that time. There was a lot of other stuff getting in the way of Shin Megami Tensei
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, and now it's the tables have been turned because Shin Megami Tensei 3 is in the way of Conan Exiles, which is fucking next, baby. Just when I thought I was going to start working on house stuff, I was like, oh, fuck. Conan's next after this review, dude. Conan!
You heard the first few notes of like the fucking main theme.
Yeah.
No.
It's been Conan Exiles at my house here lately. I'm like fucking up the land, bending it to my will, and there's straight up sandstorms out here as well. So
You got your wife and kids on the wheel of pain.
exactly, yeah. It's like I love it, man. I love it. Even when I'm not playing it, I'm playing it. You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, slavery
So-
never really waits for, you know.
No. Waits for no man. Sometimes it jumps in the ocean, then I have to do it. But anyway.
What?
Joe, Phantom Dorsey said, did Joe take his wife's last name?
Let's assume yes, since he's not here to answer
I don't
for
know.
us.
Which one? Which one? She has many last names.
Does-
No, I hope she just adds another one. Like, I don't know how that works. But, like, my wife has... So her middle name is her mom's maiden name. And I was like, I kind of want you to just tack on Schweiss at the end so you can have, like, a first name and then 3 last names. Like, she didn't do it, but...
Doesn't like the main character of Encanto, like, isn't the first song about like how long her last name is or something? Because I haven't seen
Yeah.
Encanto. I saw it once because that movie fucking sucks. But like, I remember that first song being obnoxious.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that movie, though, so whatever.
I just didn't like it because like the plot just like doesn't need to happen. Spoilers for Encanto. I'm gonna spoil the movie. I'm gonna spoil a fucking 3-year-old Disney movie on this podcast. But like, the whole part of the problem is that like she never got a fucking gift from the house, and that's why they like exiled the one guy because he like could see the future and he saw that like her not getting a gift would destroy the house. But then when that does happen, the house just gives her the gift of fixing the house. So the whole fucking like 90-minute movie didn't need to happen. Anyway, that pissed me off.
It's about the journey.
I
bro.
guess so, but like, it's like Frozen, where that movie is only good. Like, people only like that movie because of like one song. It's Let It Go for Frozen, and it's We Don't Talk About Bruno for Encanto. I mean, it's a very pretty movie. The whole like 90-minute spectacle is very pretty, but people only like it because of that one song. So
I think Joe's gonna actually listen to this episode.
no, he won't.
Do you think he's gonna listen? You don't think so? Do you,
No,
Schweiss, do you
he's gonna
think
Joe
well?
Core the
He'll-
podcast. He won't listen to anything he doesn't need to.
He'll be the first one to download it, guaranteed.
What did A4
Absolutely
fuck up this time?
guaranteed.
How many slurs did A4 say while I was gone to not police him?
I won't make my joke because of respect for him.
But anyway, we've been gone for mere days. But what has everyone been playing in the interim?
Go ahead, Zach.
Why me?
I don't know, because you never go
You're
first.
on the show.
I played some Shin Megami Tensei III Nocturne.
Shin Megami Tensei.
Tensei 3. Played some of that. And fucking shit ton of that, honestly. Not even some. I played a fucking fuckload of that game. I was trying to piss Joe off, but I also played some Final Fantasy 16. I was gonna try to beat that too. To just slide in there and be like, and I played this RPG.
I mean, apparently that's a long game. I listened to the 16 review this past week.
It's kind of long. It ain't no Rebirth long.
Yeah, I'm also just finishing up like the Rebirth review like today, and it sounds like that's a fucking. There's a lot of shit in that game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you want, though, right? Like, you want to like get your money's worth when you're.
Yeah, I did. I'm not even done. I got my money's worth.
But I mean, the thing.
There's wanting to get your
thing is,
money's
like-
worth, and then there's having a list of games you need to beat for a podcast by a 10-year anniversary deadline, and not wanting to do.
Oh fuck! Was that what we were actually doing? I thought we were just trying to get a certain amount of episodes.
No.
No.
They were trying to beat all the Final Fantasy games by the 10th anniversary, which happened like mere days ago.
Yeah, it was May 21st,
Yeah.
2014. Our first podcast aired.
Wow.
This podcast's first episode was January 1st, 2016. So we still have a year and a half.
Sounds
to
like
finish
Conan
the
up
plan.
and down the road.
Yeah. That's enough time to beat Conan, just barely, if we crank out the hours.
Yeah, like if we play for 12 hours a day, we like might be able to beat Conan by then. If we don't
Yeah,
like,
are you
watch any
guys-
of the movies.
Are you? Yeah, the cutscenes. Yeah, we got to skip
Well, I meant
the
like the
cutscenes.
movies we have to watch that are left on the list, but yeah.
The one movie.
There's
like
only one
two.
movie left.
Sonic
What
3
movie is
will
it?
come
The
out.
Werewolves Within or some shit.
There's like Werewolves Within.
Fuck you.
Sonic 3 is coming out in December. We're definitely reviewing that.
There's no way Conan takes us 6 months.
I don't know, man. I know you. So,
Look, I might nuke the server again. I haven't decided yet, but
what were you going to ask us, though? Did we what?
Aren't you guys pumped for that? I mean, aren't you fucking... Zach, you have no idea, man. Oh, man, if I could be you right now, fuck. I would do it.
I was just like, I wish I could experience this janky fucking game all over again for the first time.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to play Conan Exiles. I was just telling A4, I don't know why I opened my fucking mouth that we should have played it. We should have just been over. But
Oh, dude, there was no not playing.
I mean-
it was...
Me and Schweiss technically already beat it, so like we don't have to do anything, but we're going to help you through the exiled lands because we're your friends.
Yeah. I mean, Look, man, there's no way this podcast was ending without us reviewing Conan. That was like... When me and Joe were starting to talk about winding down, that was like the thing I was like, hey, we each get our own specialty game, but we're playing Conan. Like, that's not going to be my specialty game. That's like a no one votes on it, it's happening kind of a thing. Like, we can't not play Conan.
Fucking.
So, dude, it's such a fucking blast. I don't. You will love it.
You
will fucking love it.
Look,
believe you.
Zach, I will tell you right now, Conan Exiles is not a good game, but some of my most cherished memories playing with you guys online has been in Conan Exiles over the past few years. Like, just me and Schweiss shoving ice in our characters' mouths to go into the volcano to fight, like, the Lizard King or whatever the fuck, to get some purple octahedron, which Schweiss then drops in lava on the way out of the volcano, which I have to go pick up off his corpse while waiting for a, like, rock to come down the lava flow very slowly. Dude, like, some of my best gaming memories over the past 10 years have been just Conan Exiles.
Yeah. And then, like, man, dying of thirst, and my guy, like, it did the death animation, and he was just, like, standing still, and then his torso just slides off of his legs.
Well, and then, like,
onto the ground. I'm like, damn, thirst is fucking real, man. Like,
well, and I
didn't know that's how it went down. Like, I thought you just kind of went to sleep.
We were in, like, North Camp, and there was, like, a second floor, but it was, like, high enough that, like, if you jumped down, you would die, and, like, there was just a bunch of your character's, like, legs and torso that, like, the rest of him exploded, and, like, his upper torso is, like, T-posing on the fucking floor, but, like, the skullet is missing, so he just looks like a Lego piece without, like, that one, like a Lego minifig with that one piece of the hair.
Yeah, it's good, man.
I mean, it's on my channel. I should put it on the Nude Clan channel, but Playing with the Boys Volume 1, maybe it is on the Nude Clan channel, I don't remember, but there's a lot of good Conan clips in there from when we were playing it on the old PS4, which is what I'm going to have to play it on because these guys don't want to get off their fucking consoles and play it on PC with me where we can have our dicks out.
Hey, man, I was into the console idea. I was. Or the PC idea, but yeah.
Yeah, what?
I mean, Joe made a good point. He's like, well, you're already paying for the server. Are you going to stop paying for the server? True. And I was like, no.
When you inevitably
of course not.
Look, when you inevitably nuke that server, we can play the real game on PC the way it was meant to be played and have our dicks out.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just saying.
I do want to see some cock. I want to see some grundle, too. Like, some growler.
Real quick, I had this thought at Joe's wedding. And are you okay, Schweiss?
Yeah, why? What's up?
You lost your slam pig, bro.
My slam pig?
Yeah, he's married.
Oh, Joe?
He married someone else.
It's like I brought my slam pig with me.
Look, Zach, Joe and Schweiss might not be able to have sex anymore, but what happens in the exiled lands stays in the exiled lands, okay?
It's gonna be fucking Joe's character to get the hand over his mouth. It's like, oh, it's just Schweiss with the skull like hanging. It's
gonna look like those two 3D guys at the beginning of that Smiling Friends episode fighting over a ham, and they're just fucking.
Yeah, I felt a bit of like sadness at Joe's wedding. So I was like, poor Schweiss.
Yeah.
I felt a bit sad at Joe's wedding because I was like, he could have made a man really happy, and he decided to waste it on a woman.
I fucking almost like I was telling Cameron and Craig I was gonna message you like, dude, where the fuck are you? We're all here.
What if I could? But you know, you guys are like 3,000 miles away, and the economy.
Yeah.
Truth Seek is counting the code word between Joe and Schweiss.
Yes.
It's actually the exiled lands.
Gonna put you on the wheel of pain, boy. Gonna feed you gruel until you cook nice.
Joe just like caresses Schweiss's face, like, and then just like
whatever you just said didn't register with your microphone.
It's just like
Joe's gonna whisper into Schweiss's ear, "Take my exiled lands," and he's just gonna turn Joe around and then.
Yeah.
Truth Seeker, are you ever going to fly out to Utah? I'm going to try and get out to Utah for the last episode, but like, you know, we'll see.
Yeah. We'll pool together the $10 we have left in our fucking company bank account.
So
we'll
Patreon,
fly 'em out.
start donating to get A4 out.
Start donating to
Yeah.
dead Patreon so I can fly out.
You're not
so they
gonna
can
get anything.
They
but
can
get A4.
smell
Yeah.
my breath in real life.
Look, we're only 2 years behind on handing out awards, so we're fine.
I thought you finished that.
No, man, we owe people games and shit from like forever ago. So,
Oh, the drawings. Yeah.
the drawings, yeah, we're way behind on that. But
That's how
we just have more games now.
That's how I got Death Stranding. So
Yeah, there you go.
Random Dorsey, you should have played some super sexy fan fiction at the wedding. You should have, honestly.
Yeah, I did give a cool speech. I'll probably read it on
you
this
were
episode.
gonna tell us, the speech. Anyway,
might
real
as well-
quick, the other game I played I just actually started tonight. Was Evil Tonight. So,
Oh, you should start Conan Exiles tonight, motherfucker.
well, I thought we were gonna start together. That's why I was like,
I already started.
I already started.
the fact that he's like getting up to turn on the basement light, but like, okay, there's this. I can never find it, but there was like an interview with Macho Man, and I think Hulk Hogan, or maybe it was just Macho Man, but like. The guy is like interviewing him, and then like Macho Man is like clearly on coke or something, and then like at the very end of the interview, the interviewer's like, "And just one more question, Macho Man," and you hear Macho Man from off camera be like, "No more questions." It's like that's what that reminded me of just now. Just start Conan Exiles tonight.
Yeah, I never left. I never stopped starting.
My dick is covered in sand.
So did you make a character that looks more like you, or like what?
No, I kind of like thought about doing it. The only time I've ever like gone full hog on character creation was when I got the remake of Demon Souls, and that guy looks pretty fucking close to me. Now he's me if I was like Italian instead of German, so like definitely more tan. I'm like, I'm a little dark, and I don't like that. I don't like having to say that. But like I was like, other than that though, that guy looks fucking close, man. Because I had like a photo of me, and I spent like an hour and 45 minutes. Like I was like, all right, I got it. I got this game on release. I've got all the other From Software games done. I'm gonna fucking play it. And I like got home. Or no, I went on my lunch, picked it up at midnight at the fucking GameStop, came back, and then the first night I just spent the entire time making my guy look exactly like me if I had like a freak tan. But other than that, no, I've never. Conan's not as detailed, I would say, as FromSoft's character creation. But I also don't try as much because I just like want to get in there. I'm like, fuck it, dude. I just give him the skullet and then go.
There's no foreplay when it comes to Conan Exiles.
Joe has a character already, right, that he's been playing with as well, correct?
Yeah, he's already max level, and I'm almost max level. So
I don't know if you guys could parse this from what I was talking about months ago when I was talking about like, oh, the new Journey system is cool, but I was fucking around with it a little bit in just like a solo server on the PC.
Yeah, it's cool. It's less scammable than before. You can't like have the chest of power grinding like we used to back in the day. Where I'm like, hey,
it does help sort of like, okay, so Zach, before like if you wanted to level up your character super fast, there's like journey things, which is just like, oh, throw an orb, make a piece of clothing, and like basically. We had like a chest of power that just let you do a bunch of the shit right away because it doesn't matter like if you did it or not. It's like, oh, you have a piece of cloth armor now, you're good. Like, oh, you've made clothing dye. Oh, you've made a bed or whatever the fuck. So now I guess you actually have to like do it, but like it does help teach you sort of like, the process of how to make items and like what turns into what and what the intended path of the game is.
It's less exploitable, but it is more helpful, actually, than it used to be.
Yeah.
As before, it was like, oh, I don't know what a fucking orb is. What are you talking about? And then I'd, like, find it on a dead person's body. I'm like, oh, shit.
An orb.
It's just a ball of glass. And I just throw it at somebody.
No, I'm
but...
I'm just going to have you guys carry me. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's why I want to nuke the server. But it's just because I'm sick.
Well, I have to buy another copy of that game because I don't have PlayStation Plus anymore, so I have to like go to Walmart and find it for $10 in the clearance bin. And like,
look, man, I made myself and Joe, we both bought it, but then we realized something that you're going to realize: you actually have to have Plus to play it. So
are you kidding?
Just renew your. No, I thought you didn't, because like you don't have to have Plus to play Fortnite.
Can we just?
And
play it on
Fortnite doesn't
PC,
even.
please.
No, man, it's too late. It's too late. Oh, we lost the war.
I really don't
Okay.
want to renew my PlayStation Plus. I have zero.
Just do it for like 3 months. It's like $30 or whatever.
Dude.
But I know I bought Joe. I let Joe buy it with our fucking show money, and then he messages me on the way home, and he's like, it keeps saying I need to sign into Plus. And I'm like, oh shit, I don't know, restart your PlayStation, and then he did. He's like, yeah, that didn't work, and I'm like, oh fuck, because I bought it too, because I was like, I'm not paying for Plus. It's $20 right now. I will pay $200 for Conan again. I'll pay for it as many times as needed. But now I'm going to have to fucking buy Plus anyway, so I should have just not even done it. So you're going to have to renew
just when
your Plus.
When is the fucking PlayStation server lapse? Like, when...
Dude, it's like October. It was October 31st. It was Halloween when I got it.
Just when I get out, they pull me right back in.
Oh, wait,
Fuck.
how much is Conan Exiles on PlayStation? Do we know?
Like $10.
If you can find it for 10, but no,
I've
man.
said before, I've seen that shit in the Walmart.
I know, but I just looked up on Amazon. It's $77 for Conan Exiles. It's
Yeah, dude.
$23.74 on GameStop. So if
I've started a revolution.
Fucking way.
There's way, man. I'm telling you. Joe was looking at it and he was like, what the fuck happened? Why is this game $50? I'm like, I feel like I'm responsible for that, honestly.
Trucy,
Because the 10 copies that were floating around in the wild got snagged up by the 10 people that actually care. And now it's worth a ton.
I mean,
why would you get rid of it?
If I renew my PlayStation Plus, I might just get access to the game again. Like, because like all those games are still on my account.
Yeah, you'll get it. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Is your name on GameStop Bowman81984?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the only 5-star review for this game on GameStop.
That's Schweiss.
Everything.
There's
else.
only one 5-star review for Conan Exiles on
There's
GameStop.
two. There's two. I just found a second one.
That's fucked up. Oh shit!
Hi,
There's Joe.
Holy shit!
What's up?
Hi, Joe.
Hey, I have a brief period of time in which I can be in here. What are you guys talking about?
Conan.
Exiles. What else?
Oh my god, it's like the only thing we talk about on this podcast.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just talked about how I thought we had a system figured out and now was wrong. So we're gonna have to buy Plus. Everyone here is gonna have to buy Plus.
I have.
wrong.
I have Plus because I was playing some games online.
Or we could play it on PC.
Shut up, A4. You
Well, the internet's
get a
free.
I was just telling Joe.
internet's
Just telling
free?
them. Conan Exiles.
Well, you don't have to pay a $70
a
a year charge to access the internet on fucking online games on PC.
Look, man, we're pot committed. We've already ruined a couple players' lives.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, mine.
We can't just abandon them.
Yeah, but you can't have your dick out on PlayStation.
I mean,
like, is it
we
really
do.
the true experience.
See, we do, and it's funny because most of the time, I feel like, other than like Slam, I feel like most of them are from another country, and so they're like, man, those Americans, they really do just abandon everyone they help, don't they? Because like we get into Conan, we're like, we're playing Conan again, guys, come on and join us, and then they join, and then it's like, oh, I'm busy, sorry. And then they're like, man, and then I come in and they got sky bases, and I'm like, how many hours did that take you? And the guy's like, oh, it's ruining my life, that's for sure.
It's
like,
so
oh.
American of us.
I think what we
Yeah,
need to
it's
do
like everyone that plays with us is like Kurdish allies. It's like, oh, sorry guys, see ya.
We need to decide like when we're gonna get together and play it as well. Like make like legit like, hey, this day is.
We're definitely gonna have to because.
Man,
And it might have
yeah.
to be It might have to be Mondays, dude. If we don't record and just being like, hey, we're doing it today, and then like maybe another day. during the week, and be like,
Phantom Dorsey in the chat says, "Congrats on the wedding, Joe."
Thank you.
That's another thing that we didn't really say because we didn't know Joe was going to be here tonight. Is that Joe, married man?
I married a woman, actually.
Yeah, surprise, surprise.
No, I just.
We did joke. They did ask. Zach, I think, asked if you took her last name, and then I said
I didn't
which one.
ask. Someone
There was someone in the chat.
in the chat
was it?
asked, I read
And then I asked, I wonder if she kept all the other last names and then added this one on. Because Alex has, her middle name is a last name, and I kind of wanted her to just go like 3 last names. But she didn't. She just changed her last name. Yeah. We're cousins, so 2 of them are the same.
Well, no, because if her middle name was her mother's maiden name and your last name, but then she also took your last name.
Her mother's maiden, but she's got her dad's last name though too.
Oh, okay, you're one of those.
So with Spanish last names are 2 last names. So you put together like the last name of the father and the mother, and then that's your name. That's why like everybody in like a Spanish speaking country has like 4 names. So they also have a middle, like a quote unquote middle name that's like a second first name.
Oh, I actually didn't know how that worked.
I didn't either,
so I mean, she decided because she would have to be like sacrificing either her mother or her father's last name, she just decided to take mine. In
addition, or just replace?
Just replace the 2 last names.
No, she could have had 3.
Yay. French.
She had these cool Colombian names, and she fucking took Golier.
She's like, he's barely even French, and I got a French last name now. What the fuck?
Well, she thinks it's cool. Whatever, fuck you guys.
She was just like, could have been German. It could have been German.
You think they're coming and stealing all the jobs? They're stealing all the names, bro. That's what they're really after.
So Joe, we know it's only been a couple days since we last did an episode. What have you been playing in the past few days?
Oh, in the past few days, I played a little bit of FF7 Reimagine. Fuck, what is it?
Rebirth.
Afterbirth.
And then I also played quite a bit, actually, at this point, of Bravely Default.
Nice. So, where are you at in that? Are you in chapter 5?
I think I'm at the very end of chapter 3 or 4. At this point, I don't know. I've just been letting my guys work. I'm sorry I didn't play very much over the last week and a half. 2 weeks, I guess.
What are you talking about? It's been like 3 days since we did an episode. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that too. In the last 3 days as well. I'm at the very end of chapter 4.
This married life has really dilated your sense of time.
So I read online that chapters 1 through 4 are like most of the game. And if you want, you can kind of plow. Yeah, that's why it's so long. I was like, how fucking long is this game, dude? Like, I'm chilling at like 36 hours. I'm like, fuck, man. Is this going to be like 90 hours for this fucking game? Because it's like, I got 8 chapters and I'm in chapter 4. But no, apparently most of it takes place in there. And then chapter 5 has a lot of optional shit. But it's a lot of boss fights, and when you beat them, you get 999 job points. So, like, if you want job levels, you're going to have to play more. But if you don't, you can just plow, I think, from that point on.
Okay, well, that's interesting, because I'm only at 17
Joe's been
hours
plowing all weekend.
Chapter 4. Thanks, Zach. I appreciate it. Actually, Zach, I have to leave this. I have to leave this episode early because she's gonna finally take my virginity tonight. So we've been saving it.
Oh, is that what's happened?
She's gonna get like, you're ginger.
It grows back after a while.
It does grow back after a while.
I know his hymen's gonna be intact, and she's gonna fucking break it.
Yeah. It's gonna be...
Since A4 walked out, I actually finally got to watch the award-winning Godzilla -1, and God, what a fantastic movie that is!
Yeah, isn't it fucking great?
Oh, dude, I was crying. I was loving it.
Isn't that crazy to cry during a Godzilla movie?
It is, dude. It is. It's fucking God.
Damn, this is so good.
Man.
It's Godzilla, man.
Oh, dude, the blast being a nuke at the was so fucking good, dude. Oh my god, I loved everything about it.
Loved it.
Are we talking about Joe's Godzilla vs. Kong Give Blood shirt?
No, I told him I finally watched Godzilla -1.
Yeah, a great movie. Great movie.
Godzilla -1 or Godzilla versus Kong, whatever the fuck.
Godzilla -1.
Okay.
You know, I
so
watched
Godzilla versus Kong is a movie.
Godzilla
-1 is art.
Godzilla X Kong, or Godzilla Kong, as I was told by Drew. Godzilla Kong.
It's Godzilla Cross Kong. Get it right.
Godzilla Triple X Kong. Whatever the second Godzilla vs. Kong movie is.
Yeah.
It's in this MonsterVerse. It's worth watching, but I would not call it a good movie. If you like King Kong and you like Godzilla, it's definitely worth watching because there's a lot of fun Godzilla and Kong stuff.
So I haven't got to see that
as a movie. As a movie, it's a little rough, but you could put on your dumb pants and watch it and have a good time.
Right? Here's the thing. That's all you're supposed to do with those movies, though. With those newer ones.
Oh yeah.
Is you just fill out a month because like what is it? King of the Monsters? They're like talking about climate change.
King of the Monsters is a terrible movie.
I fucking love that. I love it.
Are you serious?
Oh, the monster fights, dude. Oh,
no.
King Ghidorah is my favorite bad guy.
Well, the monster fights are better in this than in that movie.
Are they? Okay, I'm excited.
For sure.
What if I
thought they were better in King Kong?
I don't, but I go to those, I turn my brain off, and I go, lizard.
What if I never take off my dumb pants?
Well, that's why we have you here on the show, A4.
They're like grafted to my skin at this point.
No,
you think you're here to make jokes, but actually you are the joke, A4.
Yeah,
what? You're telling me you guys are laughing at me and not with me? That's fucked up.
Yeah, no, for you it's not dumb pants, it's tarred trousers.
That sounds like an item from Tomba. Someone will get that.
Yeah, you got them tarred trousers on.
My wife got some.
My wife.
Yeah. My wife. It's weird.
So
I almost
weird when
said
you
my
finally
girlfriend.
start transitioning from like my girlfriend to my wife.
So there was a point this week. I was like, "Where's my wife?" I had to ask a guy that, and I was like, "Oh, that was so strange." But my wife actually got some wordplay from me this last week. There were still like some old people or something. She goes, "I think they're retired," and I'm like, "Babe, we don't say that anymore."
Nice.
And it took her a second, then she started laughing really hard. So we were joking about that for about an hour.
You'll break her in yet, Joe. I swear.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Oh, fuck. Fuck.
But also, yes, congrats. I'm sorry I couldn't make it to the wedding.
I told him, Joe, that I almost sent a message at our Nude chat. We're like, A4, where the fuck are you? You're supposed to be up here in 5 minutes giving a speech, dude. What's going on?
You and Cameron and Caleb Craig all left at the same time, but you all left at the same time. I couldn't find Caleb Schweiss.
Well, I got the text.
And so I was like, what the fuck, guys? Where the fuck did you take my best man? So... And he didn't have his phone on him, and nothing was charged.
Mm-hmm.
No, dude, it was so dead, yeah.
And I couldn't find his wife either, so I was like freaking out because we were going to do something that he wasn't there.
It's okay. I would have like teleported there and given a surprise best man speech and been like, "What can I say about this brave gay man, Joe?"
What can you say, A4? I want to hear the rest of it.
You should have looked. You could have looked at his.
Well, I thought Schweiss was going to read his speech on the show.
Yeah, Schweiss was going to read a speech to us so we could hear it.
No response?
You tell me. I don't know.
I can, yeah. I was going to do it. They didn't get to hear it, so.
He told me there was a gay joke in there, so I was excited.
I'm sorry. Phantom Dorsey in the chat says, A4 thinks he's a savant autistic, but Joe wishes he was nonverbal, so he'll shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Are these categories?
Sure.
Are these categories?
Oh, yeah, as if you don't know.
Yeah, a nonverbal?
Yeah.
A savant autistic?
Those are the good ones. Both
I
of them.
thought it was autistic savant, not the other way around, but like, whatever. What do I know?
I'm really good at being.
What do I know?
You're just really good at being autistic.
What do I know? I'm a savant autistic. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like either which one's the good one? Like the one where you're like,
oh my god,
counting.
don't say
no, because Phantom Phantom Dorsey in the chat just said Rain Man, and I fucking wish I was good at math. I am not.
You're one of the good ones. You're not over there flapping your hands. You're counting cards. Hell yeah. We're going to Vegas, baby.
Truthseek asks, Joe, will you make your wife use the Trello board?
Hey, there's a reason we're married, man. She already had a Trello board.
Like, hey, Trello board says play with my balls tonight.
And she made a new Trello board for the marriage. There's a household Trello board.
That's what he should do. Joe should just put like tug on my balls until I come or something.
All right,
on that
you
board.
receive dishes getting done. I receive anal. That's how this works.
It's give and take, baby. It's give and take.
It's a two-way street.
And I just want Joe to have the satisfaction of like, well, no.
If you want.
I actually told.
Look, Joe, we don't know who wears the strap on in this marriage yet. All right.
I actually apologized to Schweiss and tell him how bad I felt that you got married to her and that you guys can't, fuck anymore.
To which I said, whatever happens in Conan Exiles stays in Conan Exiles. So
no, we just can't talk about it.
That reminds me of that one. I think it was in the other chat that Joe's not in. It was like, man murders his best friend after he didn't say no homo after an 8-hour slam session or something like that. Yeah. That was fucking hilarious. It's like, you gotta say no homo, man.
True.
And Craig said, I think Craig was like, it doesn't seem like he was his best friend after all. But yeah, so it's like that, But yeah. Anyway, I have been playing a fuckload of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Yeah, we beat it. We reviewed it.
I know. I'm listening to the review currently, not right now, but I was listening to it at work today.
Like right now, dude.
And I also have been playing a fair amount of Bravely Default as well. So, cruising through that bad boy.
Very brave of you.
Yeah, it's pretty brave.
It's brave to be default.
It's brave to default on your loans.
It is brave. It takes stones.
It takes some courage.
Especially if it's to the government, the IRS. That's real brave.
Honestly, Bravely Default just sounds like the libertarian dream, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Just nothing.
Yeah, I guess the game is based upon you just doing nothing and getting wailed on for multiple turns so that you could do one bigger attack.
You could have just ended it with, I guess the game is based, and that would have been fine.
Yeah. Oh man, Roxo, that reminds me, Roxo sent me a meme the other day about the libertarian, and it was it had the donkey for the libs, right? And it said gay. And then under the fucking the Republican elephant, it said retarded, and then it was like a Venn diagram, and in the middle it was Libertarian Party. I laughed pretty hard at that. I was like, yeah, it's true. I just am too lazy to.
Probably a libertarian.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it was probably Gary Johnson. He's like, fuck you guys. I tried. But yeah, so.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. What about you, A4? Did you tell us what you've been playing?
No, I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Red and Blue.
Oh.
Why that response?
Dude, what is wrong with you?
I like it. It reminds me of my childhood before my family broke. Don't sound like that. I don't sound anything.
I just said what you said the way you said it immediately after you said it.
Like a weird whiny lilt to it.
I slowed it down a little bit.
No, you sound just like that, buddy. That was you to a T. Oh,
I don't like how much I'm getting bullied on this episode. I have been playing a lot of Pokemon Red and Blue because I actually want to complete the Pokedex. I do like it, but okay, so Pokemon Red and Blue holds up, and I don't know how much of that is nostalgia because there's a lot of elements in Gen 1 that got smoothed over with quality of life improvements in later generations of Pokemon. I'm also consistently getting dog shit RNG where the enemies can just poison me whenever they want, get critical hits roughly 90% of the time. But like, I don't know, I'm enjoying it just, again, purely based out of nostalgia. But I'm trying to finish the Pokedex for the first time. And I have Pokemon Stadium now, which I never had as a kid. So like, I actually want to like get a good team together so I can play Pokemon Stadium for real for the first time like ever. But besides that, obviously Shin Megami Tensei III. I've been playing a bit of Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door because that remake came out.
That was already reviewed. A4.
Does the door still look like a penis made out of roast beef from Arby's?
Yes.
Or did they change that?
That's called
Yes,
a
it does.
vagina.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's a cock.
Hold on.
It's a cock mountain of beef.
Did you guys actually review Thousand-Year Door? I don't remember.
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
That's
shit.
the episode with Caleb Craig talking about his sister's boyfriend,
Dude,
who's alcoholic and was butt chugging Listerine.
at your wedding.
That's a
On that
classic.
episode.
At your wedding.
Classic.
Dude,
I
someone
have to
came
go
up
back and listen.
Like,
It's a classic where we review a game for 40 minutes and then go way off.
someone walked up to ask Craig. They asked us how we knew you. I can't remember who it was. But then Craig told them his name in the podcast, and they're like, "Oh my god, I just listened to the episode about your brother or your sister's boyfriend or whatever." It was really funny.
Yeah. Who was that? Who listened to it?
I don't remember. It wasn't Timo, but I don't remember who it was.
Okay.
It might have been one of the dudes that was
would be
hanging out with
listening to that.
Timo, but I can't remember.
Anyway, apparently these guys reviewed Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. I don't fucking even remember that, and I've listened to every episode of the show, but I never finished it as a kid. I rented it, and I got like the first Crystal Star or whatever. But I'm liking it so far. Like, it's different from Mario RPG, the SNES one, because it's like it feels like baby's first RPG, but in a different way, where everything is very simplified, but there's still enough nuance in this one that you can do a lot of different stuff with the battle system. Whereas, like, people have been basically pining for a Paper Mario game to feel like this since the Thousand-Year Door, but like every game after it is like completely fucking like, oh, let's make this one an action platformer. Let's make this one suck, which is Sticker Star. Let's make this Origami King one have like a radial battle system where like Mario's in the middle and he has to spin these wheels to line up all the enemies because that's what people want. It's like, just give people Paper Mario like one and this one. But I mean, it's good that Nintendo remade it because people were claiming for this forever, and it beats buying a GameCube for $100 and then buying this game for another $100. But it's very charming. I like a lot of the ideas in it so far. Just kind of remembering a little bit of what I played when I was a kid when I rented it. But it's got a lot of nice little quirks that sort of like make it interesting compared to other RPGs of this type. Like all the whole battle system is like themed around it being on like a stage, like a play. And like sometimes when you hit enemies with like a big heavy attack, if the enemies are like in front of a piece of the backdrop, it'll like fall on them and do extra damage. Or sometimes
I'm pretty sure Schweiss and Joe know all of this, actually.
True.
I'm explaining it to the audience, but
No, audience, you don't have to.
Who also have
listen to
that episode.
listen to the episode.
okay, well then everyone knows that Paper Mario Thousand-Year Door is fucking great. I'm playing the remake. It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, we gave it an 85 out of 100. It's pretty good.
I saw your screen light up. I'm like, he's looking up the fucking score, isn't he? But
It's
yeah,
as good as Elder Scrolls V and slightly better than God of War OG, according to somebody.
I've also been playing a bunch of random shit that will come up when we get to what games we've beaten, because I'll just name them off. They're not
I
worth
like how
getting
you're
into.
playing everything but Conan Exiles.
Yeah.
Man, I have it on PC, but you guys all want to play on your PS5s. Ooh, I pay for the Sony server. We can't have our dicks out.
A4. When you stop being poor, you can talk to us.
Okay, well, when I stop
Yeah, we
being
like to
poor-
spend extra for our stuff, bro.
Yeah, bro. Called
I
consumer.
want to have Plus that I don't use. I want to have the game that I bought that I didn't need because I needed Plus anyway. I want to fucking have the server. Like, I want to spend it all.
Dude, someone in the Discord like offered me a PS5 and I'm like, nah. That's all good. No thanks.
Oh, the person who's commenting in the current live stream of this.
Oh yeah, he literally just said that.
offered
Yeah.
for a free PS5 and he turned it down.
He
What
didn't
the
say
fuck
it was
is wrong?
free. I assumed I'd have to pay for it. If it's free, then sure, I'll take the fucking thing. But like, you know, I assume
Hey
I have
man,
to
you
pay
never
for
know.
it.
Joe's guilt trip people into almost as expensive items.
Excuse me for assuming that I have to pay a fan for a $500 console.
All you're gonna have to pay is with your ass, and you're used to it.
He just
Yeah.
wants to humiliate me. He just wants me to have the PS5 so he can be like, I made you have a PS5 now.
He's
Now
gonna
you have to
give
play
you-
Horizon Forbidden West or whatever.
All you have to
Yeah.
do is give him your a fussy, and that's
Now you can
all.
hear
That's all.
Aloy's thick fucking thighs clapping
Okay,
with
well,
Dolby
Phantom Door-
5.4.
Okay, well,
My God, I wish I could hear the
Dude.
soundtrack, but all I can hear is
Fucking-
flesh slapping the shit out of more flesh.
Phantom
Dude,
Dorsey's
Phantom-
telling me he has two PS5s. So
I have
like,
two
yeah,
PS5s.
if it's
Did mom and
free,
dad,
I'll take
did
it.
your
I
mom
don't.
and dad get divorced?
I don't
Is that a
necessarily feel
Christmas
comfortable
thing?
getting a free PS5, but like if you're offering, then yeah, fuck
I think
it. I'll give you my
I think
address.
I think the thing that bothers me, Phantom, and sorry A4, I'm ruining. I'm gonna rain on your parade now.
Why is it?
Is that we're not gonna have that much more content for him to enjoy from us.
His mom is dead.
Yeah, I was
So
wondering
it'll
why
be-
he typed
So is
that.
that?
I don't
So
know.
does that count as divorce if your mom's dead, or how does that work?
I don't know what that has to do
I
with
mean,
PS,
divorce
free PS5, but
Life, I guess. Maybe it was hers.
I literally
Real
told
loss.
him in the DM, I'm like, I don't need to be spending money on that shit right now. And he's like, okay. And now he's telling me it's free. And I'm like, that would have been pertinent information at the time. Like,
You're like, I can't even pay for the shipping, bro. You're gonna have to ship it to me. Yeah, I can't even pay for that.
Back when I got my PS5, Schweiss was like, "Hey, I can get you one," and he did. And then he shipped it to
look,
Rockstar.
all I'll say is now that they finally
Yeah.
announced a new Astro Bot
I
game.
paid extra for your PS5. I lost money on that. I was so mad. I was
And
like, I'm
by
gonna get
the
all
way,
these reward
let's-
points.
Hey, let's-
Roxo talked shit too. He was like, if Schweiss would have put it to the right place, you would have had it today instead of me having it. I'm like, no.
Hey, by the way, lest we forget, we all pitched, or at least like me, Cameron, and like some other people pitched in and got Zach a fucking gaming PC that he never fucking uses for his birthday.
I use it all the time.
Hey, I didn't pitch in. I was like, no, man.
Technically,
Sorry.
Rachel gets use out of it. She's playing Baldur's Gate on it a lot.
See?
There you go.
Anyway, yes, Phantom JD, if that PS5 is free.
It's Phantom Dorsey. You don't even say his fucking name right.
It's Phantom JD in the fucking server. If he's giving me a free PS5, who am I to turn it down?
But you already did.
Well,
mean,
now
it's
I
weird,
just
gave
yeah.
it to a
I know
homeless
it's
shelter.
free.
No, you'll have to send it to me, and I'll have 3 of them now. And A4, I can be proud of that. I can be proud of that, and A4 will be proud of having 0, and we all win.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Let's go with that.
We all win. Why do you have two?
I wanted one. I wanted one for the family, and part of it was like, man, if I can get Jason to Conan Exiles, that's like one more person. It's fodder.
Why would you?
That's fodder.
Why would you ruin your stepson's life? I want.
He loves it. Everyone
I ruined my
loves it.
stepson's life, and all it cost me was $550.
Yeah.
What's what's $550 in the grand scheme of things and trauma?
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. Yeah.
Oh fuck.
It's true. The money, you'll forget about the money, but you'll remember the experience.
I will.
And so will Jace when he's talking to his therapist in 20 years.
Yeah. Fuck, man. I'm so pumped to get back in. I don't even want to be here. I just want to like get just fire it up. But I have to pay for Plus first, and I don't want to do that yet.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, we know what everyone's been playing. The real question is, has anyone beaten a game in the last couple days? Joe, what do you got?
In the last couple days, I beat Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Oh.
In the last couple of days.
The reverb.
Nice. What about you, A4?
Well, let's just see here.
Hamtaro and Mario Tennis are the last two I have. Is Hamtaro a real thing, or did I make that
No,
up?
Hamtaro's a real thing.
Okay.
Okay, so since Hamtaro, I have beaten Cruisin' Blast.
Oh, you already had that on there.
Okay, okay, since Mario Tennis, I've beaten SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy.
What the
That's not a real game.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
not,
Yes, it is. So it's a fighting game where a bunch of characters from SNK, the company, are put in fetish costumes and forced to fight each other for one of the villains from the King of Fighters. That's
Phantom Dorsey.
All of that sounds fake.
It's real. Look it up. Google it right now.
Well, I think, no. Let's take a vote.
I can Google a bunch of shit that's not real, A4.
Google
Yeah,
SNK
dude.
Heroines right now. I promise it's real.
I vote that it doesn't count because it's not a real game.
Google. I'm fuck. Is that real enough for you, motherfucker?
Yeah, that's not real. You got that off of Etsy, bro.
Oh, who these people are?
You don't know fucking. You don't know Mai Shiranui from King of Fighters or the blue-haired bitch from King of Fighters.
Dude, I've
or-
never played a second of King of Fighters.
So anyway, I one vote for not real. Just waiting on Joe and
Anyway, I've beaten SNK Heroines Tag Team Battle.
Plausible.
This looks like sloppy Photoshop.
It's like he drew it. He drew it and he made it.
I wish I could draw
Yeah.
this fucking good.
Every one of these has a link to your alternate Twitter account. I'm not buying it.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I mean, it's impressive you came
The
out with an
perfect
action
dream
figure,
match
but
starts here. Who will be the belle of the brawl? SNK's toughest heroines battle it out in a brand new 2v2 fighting game.
So one of the pictures that came up is just like a picture of a girl from the thigh down and then like a bucket of milk.
Yes.
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Why do you think I bought it?
I don't know. Hey, listen, I don't think you know what's going on, but your computer's got a virus now, so you might
It's
want
on
to
the
decide.
Switch.
Yeah, it's
New
not
image.
real. You made it, dude. You got it off Etsy, so shut up. It doesn't count. It's not real.
Anyway, I beat SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy. I'm sorry. I also beat Shin Megami Tensei III Nocturne.
Also not a real game. That's what I did into today.
Yeah,
I
that
beat-
sounds fake.
I beat Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Turtles in Time. I
Did you
beat
beat it at the arcade?
No, I beat it on my Switch.
It's on the it's on the wow, A4. He went from like 4 games to 1.
I beat Sonic the Hedgehog,
That's not a real game either.
the first one,
Yeah, that's fucking miserable, dude.
Yeah, why would you do that to yourself?
because I'm autistic. I also beat Bomb Rush.
And a savant.
I also beat Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
That's definitely
Come on.
not real.
It's real.
That's
I also beat Diddy Kong Racing. Do you have all that?
Yeah.
And I beat Super Mario Land.
Okay.
when do you have time to do this? Dude?
you-
You like bitch that you're like always drawing, but then you're faking.
When I'm
these
not drawing, I'm
videos.
gaming, dude. You should try it sometime.
Oh man, I feel bad for your wife.
Yeah, me too.
Don't we all?
Yeah. What about you, Zach?
Anyway, let me put back the very legitimate game SNK Heroines Tag Team.
I'll
Frenzy.
tell you what, I didn't beat any fake ass shit this year. I beat Shin Megami Tensei III Nocturne. Yeah, there's so many.
Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne would never take advantage of our innate gullibility.
Anyway, beat that. I
Never.
beat Shin Megami.
What is this?
Congratulations, Zach. Congratulations. We are, apparently. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
we are. And then I beat Man, it's been Xenogears the last time I put on here. Fuck. I beat Rebirth. And that's it.
Yep. Only 20 hours of Rebirth.
Yeah.
In these last couple days.
The Nude Clan hog for the host is as follows. A4 in the lead with 17 games. I am in second place with
Holy
5.
Shit. 5
games. And Zach and Joe are tied, taking it in the rear with 3 games each.
What the fuck? How are you ahead of me, Schweiss?
I beat Mario Sports, Twilight, Nocturne, and Xenogears this year. So really, it's just because I took longer on the things.
Oh yeah, you were just. Oh okay,
you were just platinuming Rebirth or whatever.
Yeah, this is your punishment for work. Is more work. That's the American way. Oh, you did that work? Oh, okay. Here's some more work for you.
Yeah, that's hourly wage. That sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you could do more in less time? Oh, we're not going to pay you more. We're just going to give you more responsibilities.
That's right.
I can't believe you people don't believe me about SNK Heroines. It was in a Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Nobody watches
on
those.
A fake console?
Yeah, the fake.
Yeah.
Fake game on a fake console.
I can't wait till I get a free PS5. Then I can play real games like fucking Returnal.
Now you're talking.
I like how you. I like how you broke A4 and you started autistic flapping.
No, I literally started being like Kermit from the Muppet Show. Yeah. If I had a free PS5, I would actually buy Stellar Blade. So there's that at least.
Oh fuck, dude, me too.
You have one.
I mean, I haven't bought it yet, but I plan on it.
Why is a regular Blade not good enough?
Dude, that game is like pissing like people off, and by people I mean like the women who hate that men love gaming.
Stellar Blade is a weird anomaly because it's being published by Sony, but it has an attractive female character, which is like the first time they've done that in like a decade.
I had to watch the trailer because like I heard like about it, and the jiggle physics in the trailer is so fucking funny. But
you should have said.
I just laughed the whole time.
You should have said non-people like women are getting upset about it.
Sir, I'm not controversial. The only people I don't think are actual people are Cajuns.
I believe earlier we were talking about racism or something earlier, and Zach was like, "Don't get me started on Cajuns."
They suck.
You're like what? The spice or the people?
Zach, there's like 12 Cajun people. How many have you run into lately?
Too many.
Look, 12 for 12. If they're all awful, then I mean I can understand.
Yeah, dude. It's kind of fun going to rallies for them though, because like instead of burning crosses like the KKK, you put like the burning like crawfish in front of their yard, and they get fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume alligators would be like running wild and killing all of us, and if there weren't for Cajun.
They just talk so stupid too, dude. Like,
what, alligators or Cajun people?
Cajun people. Like, are you like doing the bastardization of French and English and German?
Well, yeah, because it's like the cross section of French, which is already a stupid language.
Like,
and
dude,
Southern
you
drawl.
tell me you find a fucking Cajun person. You tell me you understand what they're saying. You look me in the fucking eye, and they're like, "No matter, no matter, bad motherfucker." You're like, "What? What are you saying?"
Can we at least
what
admit?
Do you want?
Can we at least?
You want money?
Can we at least admit that the only cool Cajun in like?
I don't shower. I can't, man.
Can we at least admit that the only cool Cajun that's ever existed is Gambit?
Yeah, dude. And he's not real. That's why he's okay. That's why he's now because he's fake.
I listened to Nude Clan to review Shin Megami Tensei 3, and they were just talking about how shitty Cajun people are.
Yeah.
I gotta find out what our audience base is in Louisiana.
I feel the same way. I feel the same way about Anne Frank.
I'm sorry. Someone on Discord who's watching this live messaged me in response to the Cajun talk, and he just said stinky.
Jesus Christ.
I hope it was Redrick.
No, but yeah. So Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne.
It has no Cajun people, so I liked it. It was a good game.
No, but it does have mud people.
Same. Oh yeah, that's almost close.
Tell us about those guys.
We will. So Shin Megami Tensei III Nocturne is the third game in the Shin Megami Tensei series, which is the spin-off of the Persona series by Atlus, which started with Persona 3 FES on the PS2. I'm just kidding.
Why are you laughing?
Because the joke is that, like, Persona is more popular than Shin Megami Tensei. Persona is the spin-off. That was the joke, Zach. See, the joke is funny when you have to explain it.
It is, because I don't know that.
Anyway.
That's still not very funny.
I think we have at least 2 listeners in Louisiana, based upon my stats.
Yeah.
Anyway, Shin Megami
No,
Tensei...
how? You tell me how they listen, because there's no internet in Cajun places.
Yeah, they have to
obviously
take dragonflies and like hook them together to the phone line.
Yeah, and then they steal it from the neighboring state of Texas.
From the neighboring state of Texas.
Shin Megami Tensei III Nocturne is the third game in the Shin Megami Tensei series by Atlus, which before was a 2D dungeon crawler series, I believe, on the Super Famicom. This is the first one we got in America. It was fully 3D for the first time. And as it was the first one we got here, they didn't call it Shin Megami Tensei III Nocturne. They just called it Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne because they weren't sure if it was going to sell here or not.
So they had already tagged that Nocturne. I kind of thought with this one is the same as the newer ones, where it's like 4 and then like 4 Apocalypse and then like 5 and then 5 Nightmare, whatever it is.
It was kind of... It was kind of like a Final Fantasy situation where, like, since this is the first one we got, they just got rid of the Roman numeral. And then eventually they did 4 and 4 Apocalypse and 5 Vengeance. But
all right, before this gets too far, thank you for the well wishes on the wedding and all the jokes on the gift.
You guys,
really
Joe is going to lose his virginity in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to go lose my virginity. So thank you. I'm going to go finish my honeymoon.
Go get her, Joe.
By finishing. Thank you very much.
Bye, Joe. Thanks for joining us. Oh, fuck you.
Anyway, so the Shin Megami Tensei series, or I believe it translates to New Story of the Devil, started on the Super Famicom in Japan. We never got the first 2, and I believe we still don't have the first 2. I think the only way to play them in English is a fan translation.
Who needs them? Because number 3 is great.
I mean, the third one is good, but yeah, that was like the first time we got this series in America, which led to us getting the Persona series. Well, actually, no, we got the Persona series before that because we had Revelations Persona on the PlayStation, as well as Persona 2, whatever the second Persona 2 game is. There's 2 of them. There's Innocent Sin and I think Eternal Punishment. We got the second one for some fucking reason. And then we got Persona 3.
We got the second one?
Yes, literally. Like, there's 2 games in Persona 2, and like we only got the second one for some fucking reason. But yeah, this was... It's a game where you play as a human who is turned into what is known as the Demi-Fiend, and basically the end of the world happens, and you have to go around recruiting demons to your cause in order to go and try and help recreate the world in your own image, which is known as a reason. And there's various different reasons that you can align with over the course of the game, which depends on what ending you're going to get. So it's basically Pokemon, but with demons.
It's like fucked up. It's like Pokemon, but you could only collect around Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and wherever that nuclear power plant was.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah.
So all the beasts are just really fucked up looking.
Well, I want to liken this series to Dragon Quest because, one, it's a very old Japanese role-playing game series, but also, like, they've just been using the same designs for, like, 20, 30 fucking years for all the enemies. Like, because all the enemies in this game, all the demons, get recycled as personas in the Persona series, and they're also used in, like, all the other Shin Megami Tensei spin-off series, like Devil's Survivor and the like. But, yeah. So I guess we can start with the story. What did you guys think of the story of Shin Megami Tensei III Nocturne?
Had a story? No,
yeah, where it starts in a very contemporary, like, modern Tokyo, where you're wandering around like Shibuya, and
I fucking played it.
I'm telling the audience.
Oh, sorry. I was like, fuck. I thought the story was good. It's kind of pretty simple. I mean, like, for the most part, it comes off as simple, right? It's like you need to figure out how to fix the world, and whether that's you or fucking Isamu or nipple wears her pants up, sorry, nipples woman,
the woman literally covered in denim.
That was my favorite thing.
Basically, the start of the game is you're going to like this hospital, and I think Harajuku to meet with your teacher, and then like you find out that hospital is like where the world's going to end, and everyone in that hospital is going to survive. Because you also meet metrosexual Ben Shapiro in the basement,
which is weird that only you like 5 are there and no one else is in the hospital.
Well, that other guy, that reporter's there, that Hajiri guy.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, like, that's it.
Yeah. So essentially, you meet your teacher on the rooftop. She's like, "Yeah, the world's gonna end," and then like the world just fucking ends and turns into the Vortex world, which is ruled by this big moon in the top called the Kagetsuchi, and that replaces the moon phases that are shown in the first 2 Shin Megami Tensei games. It basically acts the exact same way. It's just called something different. But as you move along the map, the moon phase will change, and that has various different like minor effects on battles, whether like demons are crazed and you won't be able to like negotiate with them to join you, or when you beat them on like a full Kagetsuchi, you have a bigger chance of getting gemstones, which you can use to trade with the gem trader to get special items.
Certain items work better in the moon phases too, as well as certain attacks.
Yeah.
Or like things work better in different phases of the moon.
But essentially, world's destroyed, and all the people who are left are trying to accrue this resource called Magatsuhi, which is, I guess, like soul energy. And whoever has the most of that can summon basically like an elder god to come down and try to like sponsor their reason, which is like their like ethos that they can use to rebuild the world in their image. So
is this game actually about capitalism?
Sure, let's go with that. Because there's a few different reasons that you can align with over the course of the game. I think there's 3 total. There's Yasuga, which is the girl, and that's basically
there's
like
4, isn't there? Because you have metrosexual Ben Shapiro, Isamu, Chieki, and you have the freedom one, which is Yuko.
I think I think the freedom one is just like you don't really side with anybody. But like,
no, the freedom. I got the freedom. No, you fix the world and you make it exactly how it was before you.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, of the 3 reasons that I can think of like the characters that are in the game, there's Yosuga, which is the girl, which is basically like only the strong survive. It's basically Senator Armstrong from Metal Gear Revengeance. There's Isamu, who is your friend, who basically wants to create a world of like isolation where like
you find out how depressed he is and you're like, I didn't read the signs before you sort of cutting his wrists.
Like he basically just wants to make a world where like everyone kind of fends for themselves. And then there's metrosexual Ben Shapiro, I think his name is Hikawa, and
which I mean is technically just Ben Shapiro.
Yes, and he wants to create a world where like everything is like still. So I guess like evolution is halted and like everything kind of comes to a standstill, and so it won't lead to like the destruction of the universe or something. Maybe it's like the anti-spirals from Gurren Lagann. I'm not sure. I didn't follow his reason. I went with Yosuke.
I didn't either. Which one was that one again?
The girl.
Oh.
I liked her idea. I was like, oh, only the strong survive? That sounds fucking based on.
I thought about that, but I was like, I want the freedom one. I want everything to go back to normal. I don't want to be a demon anymore.
Well, and I guess, yeah, apparently if you don't follow any of them and you just go with your teacher, you get the freedom ending where you just make the world what it was before.
I mean, it still is a choice because you have to like make the right choices up to that moment too.
Yeah, there's a lot of different like flags you hit over the course of the game, depending on like what your dialogue choices are, and that locks you into like a certain ending. Schweiss, what reason did you end up going with by the end?
I have no idea. I don't remember.
Who won? What guy? What person was with you at the end? I'm assuming.
One of the chicks, I think.
Was it the chick with the denim and like the fucked up arm?
No, I think I fought her.
You fight her anyway, but like I got her ending. It's either
What
her or the
happens in her
teacher.
ending?
If you choose her, you're not supposed to fight him, right? I thought
No,
if
you fight him. I fought Ball. I fought Ball, which is like her.
When I read is like, or maybe it was the one me and Schweiss did. If you, in like the remake one, whoever you choose, you don't have to fight that boss. But I got fucked.
I had to fight all three, and I got Chiaki. So.
I mean, but in ours, you didn't. You got to skip it if you didn't. Is what like I was reading like the run through. Because I didn't choose any of those three. I had to fight all of them.
Okay.
As well.
I still had to fight all of them anyway, and I chose Chiaki, so I'm not sure.
Maybe I didn't. I think. Okay, what are the fights in the end if you don't?
So the final dungeon's kind of a chore, but like you fight. Fuck.
I'm looking. I have the brave thing.
No, you fight Hikawa first, who like he tells you like, oh, items are forbidden, oh, attacks are forbidden, magic is forbidden. That's metrosexual Ben Shapiro. Then you fight.
Is that the big whale thing or whatever?
It's like
it's like a manta ray almost.
And then like halfway through, like when you like do its reasons, it like changes and like start like it looks like it gets on like all fours and like.
And then you fight Isamu, who like. You can only hit him with like the opposite magic that he used, and he's the kid.
Yeah, I fought him too.
Then you fight Ball, which is the chick, and that's like the white thing with like the one giant wing, essentially. And it summons like two enemies on either side, and it can turn.
I fought that one,
and it turns you into a fucking fly, and fucks you over.
Oh yeah, I fought all three. I think I got the same.
I think you fight all three regardless of whether or not you choose one of them. Because like when I fought Ball, which is Chiaki's like god that sponsors her reason, she's like, okay, well, you're clearly on my side, but we got to fight to see who's going to like take this to the end.
It says on this, in a twist from the other bosses, you will always fight Bale Avatar, no matter what reason you support. Even if you support the reason of Yosuga, you still fight Bale. So you still fight. If you chose Hikawa or whatever his name is, you wouldn't have had to fight one of them.
Okay. I was gonna say because I fought all three, but.
So I guess it makes sense with that Bale though, because his whole thing is like the most powerful, right? Like to be the strongest.
Yeah, she's literally which one of us is going to be the true guy to like go and take this to the end, basically.
It makes sense. That makes sense. So,
yeah.
I mean,
so you don't know which reason you went with Schweiss?
He probably went freedom. He probably got the same. But I mean, if you do the last three, there's the freedom ending. The demon ending, and then another ending.
Well, also, it's fucked up.
All three have that same path, so I don't know. I got freedom.
It's a bit fucked up because I didn't realize it when I was playing the Steam version, and apparently, and it's only on the Steam version, if you choose new game, it's just vanilla Shin Megami Tensei 3, whereas all the console versions default to the Maniacs version, which is the one that you guys played with all the hard bosses. So like the whole time I'm going, where is Matador? I heard nothing about but like how hard the Matador fight is, and I never fought him because unbeknownst to me, I'm just playing vanilla Shin Megami Tensei 3. You guys had to play the Maniacs version where you fought all those extra bosses to get those menorahs. So like you had access to a completely different ending that I didn't have access to. Not that I think you got it, but
no, and I definitely didn't, but that's gonna definitely come into play when we talk about replayability.
Mm-hmm.
So this the fucking what's his name? The two for sure you have to fight that I know you did not were the Matador, and then the fucking like trumpeter. Fuck both.
Any of those like skull guys with the menorahs, I didn't have to fight any of them. So
yeah. And so for us, I think like at least as far as I know from playing, the only two you actively have to fight and it makes you fight is Matador and the Trumpeter.
Okay.
And you can choose to do everything else. And I actually thought like one of the reasons it took me so long this last week was I started doing one of the Kalpas, and I was like maybe I can bust through it real quick and get the true demon ending. But then I was like, no.
Apparently it's not easy according to Schweiss.
No, I
think I got Chiaki's ending.
Okay, that's the one I got.
Endings.
But since you guys were playing the Maniacs version, did you guys encounter Dante from Devil May Cry? Or
no, you don't. No, you have to do all of the menorahs.
Yeah, it's got to be everything.
He's at the very bottom, and you can get him. That's what Craig was actually telling me about it. You have to do all of the menorahs. all the culpas.
Because I was also wondering, because he's technically DLC. Otherwise, you get Raido Kuzunoha, who's another character from another Shin Megami Tensei spinoff called Devil Summoner.
He's got the hat, right?
Yeah, he looks like a Japanese police officer.
You fight him and his cat.
Yes, I didn't.
I was okay. So like, you fight him once, and I was like, oh, he's gonna come back, and then he never did.
Okay, so I think if you had the Maniacs like DLC installed, that would be a Dante fight instead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Which blends into the meme that this game has had forever, which is the sticker on the front that says featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series. Because that's the version we got. And then eventually they released Maniacs Chronicle Shin Megami Tensei III Nocturne, which is the version that has Raido Kuzunoha, which was sort of like a cross-promotion for Devil Summoner. And
so I assumed that he was going to play such a bigger part in this story.
No, it's literally just hey, here's another game we have out right now.
That's so dumb.
Branny literally will know about it because I think Branny has like a collector's edition of Devil Summoner 2 or something.
So stupid.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to play such a bigger part, and I was like, oh, maybe I didn't do a side quest thing that I should have done.
No, I know you can get Dante and those guys in the Maniacs version, but yeah, it's...
And I didn't know about Dante or there's a fucking easy mode to this game that, I wouldn't have done anyway.
Yeah, there's merciful difficulty, which is what I said Joe would have done if he'd played.
I hate myself, and I have to play it on at least medium, but...
Normal wasn't that bad.
Craig, shut up. You didn't have to fight Matador. You didn't have to fight fucking Trumpeter. Trumpeter fucking blew, even if you knew what his things were, was fucking bullshit.
I always started out the fight getting healed, and I was like, what is happening? But then I looked it up online. I was like, what is this motherfucker? And I was like, oh, that's a cool twist.
The thing is, okay, so he really wasn't that hard, but it was when I thought I had a low enough person, and then that cunt healed himself to full health, and I was like...
Yeah. That hurts, yeah, it stings.
I almost broke my Switch.
So the basic...
He did it twice in a row, and I was so fucking mad.
Yeah, you almost switched it up on the Switch, and instead of it breaking itself, you broke it.
The basic plot synopsis...
let's hear if the screen goes as well.
The basic plot synopsis is that, once the world ends, you get turned into a Demi-Fiend by this, little boy, and, her is, old master, who's, an old woman. And they're basically oh, make sure the little master has a good show or whatever. And then your friends become the ones that have the reasons that are going to try and recreate the world. Meanwhile, there's this giant war going on between two factions of demons, the Mantra and, what the fuck was Hikawa's again? There was the Mantra and then there was the...
I don't remember.
Either way, yeah.
They're both using your friends from some different things too.
Yeah, and then
was it the Amala guys?
No,
Amala was Hijiri's thing. But Amala was a faction.
There's basically 2 or 3 factions of demons that are all vying for power this whole time, and they're basically all headed by one of your friends who has their reason. And then the girl eventually goes I want to be super strong, and she takes the main Mantra guy. He's this big demon called Gozu Tenno, and she takes his power eventually and becomes super fucking strong and becomes white and has a tree branch arm. And then she goes and kills all the mud people that are mannequins.
My favorite was when I messaged you guys and I was like, oh no, she got hot.
I think she got less hot, but you know.
Then you got Isamu, who essentially is just crying because no one loves him.
Yeah, he's a little emo boy.
I think we should just not know people, and you're like, okay, pussy.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting him to kill Hijiri though either. I thought Hijiri was gonna be in there a bit longer.
Yeah. So it's kind of this weird interpolitical sort of thing between these various factions of demons, and you kind of have to just decide which side you're on. Meanwhile, your teacher's hey, you should be the one to recreate the world, but you have to decide how to do it. And I'm okay, I guess. So,
yeah. So for mine, she because I don't know if I got more dialogue options because I chose her, but she I'm guessing does she get taken away by that one god too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as far as I can tell.
Okay.
So
I was wondering
gets possessed by that god.
Mm-hmm. But when you go to fight or when you go to Hikawa the first time, before he like gets his god to like ascend down. And mine, she gets like taken over, and then it like takes her away.
Mm.
And then she basically tells you to like, at least for me, she was like, continue like what I want. Like we should get the chance to choose.
Yeah,
and you kind of go that way,
but that's like more or less the main crux of the story until you get to the very end, and then you just fight like Kagutsuchi, which is like the moon, but it's a guy made out of like squares.
It was like Majora's Mask.
A little bit.
Just kidding.
So what do you guys think of the story of Shin Megami Tensei III Nocturne?
Twice, you remember it?
Not really. I mean, it was okay. I don't know. I liked the characters. I thought the writing was actually pretty funny. Like the game's kind of hilarious.
I have screenshots of like the Incubus and like Yo-Yogi Park where he's like, "You see that one demon chick? She's hot." And I'm like, "That's just Schweiss."
But he's got his massive fucking like horn
His
cock.
horn cock, yeah.
I like the little one dudes with the pot bellies and little wieners are hanging down. The little like
yeah, I forget what their names are, but yeah. And then I have a screenshot of one of the mannequin kids. I think it's the kid that like runs the puzzle boy machine. When you finally beat it, he just goes, "You blow."
Oh yeah.
Nice.
The fucking mannequins like shaking every once in a while is kind of off-putting, if we're being honest.
The mannequins were off-putting in general.
Where they're just like standing there and they're like, "How are you doing today?" And you're like, "Why?"
I didn't care about the mannequins except for the one guy that you like saved.
Chiaki, you bitch.
Because at that point I was kind of locked in, and I like didn't know she was going to kill him. But it's like I got to kill Fudo Mimi. That sucks, because he's a bro. But I have.
Oh yeah, I didn't fight him. I fought someone else.
Yeah. If you'd fought him, you probably would have been on Chiaki's route, honestly.
I would have. If you fight him, you've chosen Chiaki at that point.
Yeah, at that point I was kind of locked in. I'm like, I'm not getting a neutral ending. I'm getting one of these endings, so fuck it.
Yeah, I did end up fighting him. I did feel bad, but I was like, sorry, bro. Game's making me kill you.
You're made of like clay. I don't really give a shit, actually. But the story is interesting. It does have good writing. And it has a lot of like very interesting esoteric themes that it touches on. It stuck with me in like a weird way where like it's always been in the back of my mind since I beat it, but like I don't remember too many of the details, obviously, because my synopsis was terrible. But it is an interesting story that like, despite all the god killing you do in JRPGs, like Shin Megami Tensei still has this weird kind of vibe to it that like a lot of RPGs don't really touch. So I found it very, like, I want to say enigmatic, sort of like mysterious, but also like intriguing at the same time. I think I would give the story an 8 because it's kind of in the background the whole time. Like, this game is definitely carried more by its gameplay, but the story does a good job of sort of like pulling you forward little by little and going like, okay, like where are we going next in terms of like, you know, fixing this broken world.
Yeah. What about you, Zach?
I'm gonna mirror the 8 that A4 gave. I didn't really know what to expect of this game. I've never played a Persona game or the Shin Megami game before this. But I mean, the story was good. I wasn't bored, and it, like, honestly, the game pushes it the entire time is where you should be, what you should be doing, until it makes you make the decisions to like who you choose. Yeah, I'll go Dave.
I was going to say the Persona games tend to be way more like rooted in contemporary society, where like it's always about like school kids fighting against a certain force or a certain theme. Whereas like, as far as I can tell, Shin Megami Tensei is very esoteric in that it's like basically about like the rebirth of the world and sort of like what would you do if you were part of like the recreation of the world and from like the perspective of like, are you going to follow law? Are you going to follow chaos? Like, how is this going to play out? It's a little more vague in that, and like, I keep using the word esoteric, but like I don't know how else to describe it. But like it's definitely got its like religious overtones throughout the whole fucking thing too, which Persona's kind of lacking because it's more just focused on like modern school life. So that's kind of the divide.
I think I'll agree with you guys on the 8. The stuff with Mara was really fucking funny. And the game Mara. the game is low key like hilarious all the time. Like people are cracking jokes and like there's innuendo and there's a lot of good writing in here. I was kind of surprised by it.
The way some of the NPCs are written is great. Yeah, where like I said, some of the demons are just like, especially even with like the demon conversations when you try to like recruit them to your side, and they'll be asking like weird questions. It's like a hot demon chick, and she's like, "Does my skin look hard or soft?" And you say soft, she's like, "Oh, so you think I'm weak, huh?"
Yeah, fucking assholes.
Yeah.
I thought that was what I was supposed to say.
Such a woman response.
Some of those, if you're like not like high enough like level for them to, they're like, "Are you hitting on me?" Gross. They're like, "I don't do like fight with anyone, or I won't join anyone who's weaker than I am," and they just like leave. You're like, "I bitch."
Yeah, they write the demons like very like down to earth and sort of like just as like as crude as we are as humans. So that's always fun.
Yeah. I dug it though. I thought the characters were decently fleshed out. I wasn't really like super drawn in by the story. I thought it was an interesting idea. This is one of the things that like, I don't know, that like Souls games kind of do, where it's like they create a cool atmosphere, and then I don't really care about the story. That
it's kind of left up to your interpretation. Really, it's kind of like what you take out of like the scenario. I guess they kind of have like a vibe set up, and then like what you get out of it is what the story is.
Yeah, more or less. And that's not really my jam necessarily, but I don't dislike it either. So it's just a different way of doing things. But I was all right with it.
I do like the idea of multiple endings. So you can play it how you want to play, honestly. Like, I like that. I don't know if it's necessarily something I want for every single game I play, because, I mean, there is great to play games where it's like, hey, this is the ending. This is what you're choosing because you're playing as this character. But when the Demi-Fiend is basically you, right? Like it's you. So I mean, I thought that was cool. But I get
that's something that like they've always done with these RPGs in the Shin Megami Tensei series, like even Persona, where it's just like you just project yourself onto the main character. They're basically a blank slates that you can role play essentially.
Yeah. That's fine. I prefer it the other way, but I don't dislike this either.
I know, and I get what you're saying. I think that's a very valid response and a valid like stance on it for sure. Okay, so what did you give it, Schweiss? Sorry, I
think we all gave it an
8. I did as well.
Okay. So gameplay, which I would argue is maybe one of the strongest aspects of this game, because it's a really good RPG, and it's weird playing this one having come from the Persona games, because the Persona games, they work similarly, but they kind of have a different system where it's still based on taking advantage of enemy weaknesses, except in the Persona series, it's basically you can keep going with the same character as long as they keep hitting an enemy's weakness. So like if one of your characters in Persona has like lightning skills and all the enemies on the enemy team are weak to lightning, you can basically just hit them all with a lightning skill with that same character over and over and over again, as long as they have the NP. Whereas here, it will always move to the next character in your roster, whether it's a demon or your main character, but you will get like an extra turn anyway. And it's this weird like esoteric system where like you have these like dragon heads in the top right of the screen, and when you get either a critical hit or you take advantage of an enemy weakness, like that head will start flashing, which signifies you get an extra like half a turn, which counts as a turn anyway. It's hard to describe, but like basically you're getting extra turns every time you hit an enemy weakness. It's just that you're not going to be able to carry on the next action with the same character that got that weakness, which is how it would work in the Persona games.
One of the things that I didn't take advantage of until like way later in the game was skipping turns, because it only counts as half.
Yeah.
So like I think I could have gotten a bit farther quicker if I would have taken advantage of skipping and healing more, and I feel like I would have done a couple boss fights a little like not as long. Would have taken me as long if I would have definitely paid attention. There's
a definite level of strategy of like later game figuring out like, okay, this character doesn't really do anything against any of the enemies I'm up against or the boss I'm up against. So if I skip their turn, I can get to my character that has a skill that can hit the enemies or can heal my party or whatever the fuck. So it really comes down to like careful management of which characters have their abilities that are good against the enemies you're up against and like whether or not you need to skip turns to get to them or like use a skill to like get an extra turn to get to them anyway. It's interesting. It's really interesting the way that it plays out.
Yeah, I liked that. For the most part, I didn't have any problems, and I was able to kind of use physical attacks if I boosted my dudes hard enough.
Oh, and this game is all about the buffs and the debuffs, by the way. Like,
yeah,
that is the whole
it's pretty
meta of this
sweet.
game.
That's how I beat all the tough bosses, is just... Some of them they'll rebuff or they'll anti-debuff, and so I would just like, well, I guess I'm just buffing my guys. So like whatever they would do, they would counter, I would stop doing that thing, and then I would just do the other one. And if they didn't counter either, I would do both, and it would be like devastating.
Yeah.
The charge ability was like my favorite fucking thing in the world. Charging up my main guy and then like buffing his attack fully and then hitting was like fucking nuts, dude. Like crazy amounts of damage coming off of that motherfucker. I liked, and I forgot how to do the Magatsuchi or whatever the fuck it is.
Oh, the Magatama, where you like ingest
the
them
Magatama.
to get different like buffs and debuffs and skills.
Yeah, I totally forgot how to function that thing, so I just had the one that gave me the most strength on for like ever, which wasn't the best idea. I ended up using it in the end, but I also used, because what you do is you eat this weird fucking bug. It's like, I imagine like a tapeworm. It's like a Japanese tapeworm. You swallow it.
Yeah.
But instead of losing weight, you gain like special skills. But when you gain those skills, you have the option to remove old skills or just add it to your roster if you haven't maxed out a total of, I think, 8 or 10 skills that you can hold at any time. And those were pretty sweet, man. There were some pretty bitchin' skills in there.
Well, because the way that the demons get their skills and the way that you get your skills are completely different. Like, your character is the only one where you can choose what stat levels up each time. Like, basically, every time you level up, it's like, okay, now choose what stat gets buffed, whether it's strength or vitality or defense or whatever. And also, when it comes to the skills that your character learns, it depends entirely on what Magatama you have ingested. And as you level up, you'll eventually get the rest of the skills that Magatama has on its... like basically its list until you've mastered it, and then you can ingest another one and then pick and choose which skills to keep and which ones to erase for new ones. It's kind of like Pokemon in that sense. As for the demons, they have their own list of specific skills that they can learn, but when you fuse demons, which is a gigantic part of this game, and also the Persona series and some of the other Mega 10 spin-off series, you basically can get a new demon and then you can choose what skills they inherit, so you can have a demon that has like all of the elemental skills or like all of the debuff skills depending on what you've fused. Now apparently, according to my research, in the original version you couldn't choose which skills get inherited. I think it just like when you chose to like fuse, it showed you like what skills were going to get inherited, and if you didn't like it you had to back out and try again. This one at least gives you the time, or it gives you the time saver where you can choose what skills get inherited, so you're not wasting so much time in the cathedral shadows fusing the demons or trying to fuse the demons to get
demons gather?
Yes, where demons gather. So you try to so you try to get the right fusion of skills without just relying on the RNG essentially. So that's a nice change. That's a nice quality of life improvement in the HD version that we played. But yeah, apparently this game was way harder in the original PS2 version, just based on that alone.
One of the things that I think is so fucked with that is when demons level up, they can decide to change their skills, but you don't get to fucking choose what it is.
You don't get to choose what skill.
Not paying attention what it is, and you go to fight, and you go, where the fuck is my attack? And it's just gone.
Or it's like, hey, where's my heal? Oh, of course they got rid of the heal.
Yeah. Oh, you got rid of your only win skill? The one reason I have you in my party? Thanks.
Yeah. Luckily, I had a guy that had diarrhea, or diorama, whatever it is, in this game, and he would use it all the time, and it would heal everybody.
I had 3 characters that had the heal full HP of your party.
Oh, dude, by the end, I had like 3 or 4 characters with Dirahan.
Fucking saved my fucking ass.
Yeah.
I had, I think, 1, and another guy had 1 that was a single target.
Mm-hmm.
I really only had like so how I did my party was each person had like 1 or 2 like elemental attacks.
Mm-hmm.
My main dude, I maxed out my strength, so I was just fucking punching everything with my dude. But he had the deer hunt, whatever, the full HP one, and then I had one that was like she had 2 different heals, and then like just things for like the party itself, and then
like
I had
buffs.
another one. Yeah, she had that, and then she had a couple buffs. And I had one dude that had like a fire attack, an ice attack, and then the rest of it was like all buff and debuff. And then like so I had all like when I fought like a few of like the final bosses, I had the one that was just like my main heal, and I just like skipped her turn every time unless I needed to heal.
Yeah.
And then I just had everyone else like at least get like a second attack on them. But it was
the game kind of funnels you towards that with like the fusions that are even available. It basically funnels you towards like, all right, demons are more or less going to have like 1 or 2 elements tops, maybe 3, and then like the rest are going to be heals or buffs or debuffs. Like it's pretty balanced in that sense.
One of the things that fucked me, actually, I just thought of, was I fought the coffin demon bitch.
Oh,
and the only thing that fucking hurts him is like electric, and I had one person electric attack, which is my main guy, because I swallowed one of the tapeworms that had the electric shit, but I hurried and took it out as soon as I got the one like the one from like the puzzle boy thing. So I had to fucking re-swallow a different one, electric one, to get a next attack, and fuck that, dude. That was
that one was tough.
Nothing worked on him but that. So I had one guy that I was like,
I had multiple fights like that where I had to bring in trash party members just to deal any damage at all.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy.
It was pretty ridiculous, honestly.
I mean, like I had gotten rid of all of my characters that had like light-based attacks in the final dungeon, and like all of the enemies in the final dungeon are like weak to light, basically.
Yeah.
I found out the hard way, but whatever.
I think I had a bird man that was like light, and he had my diarrhea attack too.
One of
he was probably Quetzalcoatl, like
the snake
South American god.
I mean,
I know that's an actual character. The Quetzalcoatl is an actual character. The snake with the wings. I had him for a bit.
I did too.
It doesn't help that all the fucking like elemental skills are in like Latin. So like, unless you'd played Persona before, like me, you'd know like Agi is fire and Bufu is ice.
Bufu just sounds like some kind of weird sex act.
She gave me the Bufu. Yeah, she put ice on my fucking nuts, and then
one of the others. I guess one of the complaints I'm gonna have is when I was first like I was trying to find like the electric attack. So like I went back because I kept losing to that fucking coffin. I was like, I'm gonna find someone because I didn't look at my Kagasuchi. I was like, I'm just gonna find a character that has it, and I'm gonna fuse them. One of the fucking stupid things in this game is if a thing attacks you with said attack, like I got attacked by someone who had electricity, I recruited them to my side, and I went to look at their skills so I could... Actually, I didn't look at their skills. I fucking ran all the way back, and I went to Asakusa to go to the Cathedral of Shadows, so I saved, go through, and I look at this character when I'm in there, and he doesn't have the skill that he attacked me with. So, like, when you just recruit a random demon, whether they've used an attack or not, they're like, nah, I don't know that. And it's like, you're a fucking liar.
Yeah, it's like...
Oh, it's so dumb.
It's like that. It's like that foreigner at work that knows more English than they let on. You're like, I feel like you just pick and choose when you can't understand me. Because sometimes you listen and you do the thing, but then other times it's like, no. So, like, something's up here.
It does.
Foreigners.
I hope that happens in Joe's marriage.
It does feel good going back to an older area though, when you have like a fully kitted out like team of demons that are way high level. Like you go back to Ikebukuro and you're just cleaning house.
Which I mean, you do like you have to go to some of those places. You have to go back to buy fucking items because not every item place sells the same goddamn fucking item.
And then they're
every item place. Oh my god.
They're begging you to join your party, and you're like,
it's like, oh man,
you die.
I need more float balls, but only one item shop in the entire world sells float balls. So,
oh my god, dude, that pissed me off too. Is like having to like travel from place to place. I'm like, oh, and here I'll buy this, and then I'm gonna go and save, and I'm gonna travel through a mall, and I'm gonna buy.
I never once used float. I just took the damage like a man.
But there's like 3 or 4 dungeons where you have to.
Yeah,
I know. I realized that. I just took the damage like a man.
I was so afraid of dying and having to restart and losing all my progress, and I was like, I bought 99, dude. I was like, fuck that. I have the money.
Yeah, because by the way, this is one of those games where like if your main character dies, even if you still have demons in your party, it's game over. You are reloading your last save.
So goddamn mad about that.
Especially with the insta-kill moves. It's like, what the fuck,
God,
man?
yeah, never fucking insta Magatsuhi where you're weak to light or dark. You will die.
I never had an insta-kill attack work on a boss, but like all of theirs always worked on my character.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking hate.
I had to lower their accuracy like crazy to get out of it.
That's what that's the 2 debuffs I use the most. Were I raise my evasiveness, and I raise my either my team's evasiveness, or I'd usually hit the same guy to like take down the defense of the guy I was fighting. And like, honestly, dude, the best part about the evasiveness in this game, because we were talking about gameplay, is if they go to hit you and they miss, and depending on how many characters they miss, they can whiff their entire like.
Yeah, you lose like multiple turns when you miss, and so does the enemy. So like if they like use a lightning attack and like one of your guys either absorbs or like reflects or blocks lightning, it like just nullifies the rest of their turns.
When I beat Hikawa's,
the same works for you, but yeah.
When I beat Hikawa's guy, like the god, was because I just rose my evasiveness and he fucking just kept whiffing, and I was like, thank you, God.
Like I said, this game like lives or dies on how much you buff and debuff characters. Like if you buff your team or debuff the enemy, if they don't have Tetrakarn or whatever the fuck the thing is that like nullifies the debuffs or like nullifies your buffs, then like
which I mean, I think it wasn't. Okay, I'm gonna try to word this right. I feel like that is something that's drilled into you more in the version that we and Schweiss played, because there's a whole boss where that's the entire gimmick. The Matador's gimmick is the buff and debuffs.
I mean, it was drilled into me too, but like maybe later game than you guys, because Matador's kind of early for you guys. But
Matador's like one of the first bosses you fight. I think the second boss you fight.
Yeah, he's one of those ones where it's like, I'm not going to worry about debuffing him. I'm just going to buff me. Like, I got to worry about myself here, because he just nullifies everything. So it's like, I can't remember if it was that or if he nullified my buffs. It was
he does both, but like I mostly debuffed him because he actively used one of his turns to like negate himself.
Yeah, that's right. So you would waste a turn.
But I will say, like even in the vanilla version without those bosses, they still like drill that into you. It just happens later, but like it is just as important. The buffs and the debuffs are just as important in vanilla SMT3 as they are in the version you guys played.
Good to know.
It definitely makes or breaks a lot of battles.
So A4, with all this being said, what would you give gameplay?
I really like this game. As frustrating as it could be sometimes, it's a really solid JRPG with a lot of really good systems. I would honestly give it a 9.
Okay.
Like, it's really good. I can see why people wanted us to play this game for as long as they did.
No, for sure. I mean, like no, I agree with that. But I want to see what Schweiss, because I need to figure out where I'm gonna like land. So I need to see.
Fucking centrist.
No, I might not. Because I'm still thinking about too, like the complaints I had as well. So like, I want to know how petty I'm gonna be, or like.
I mean, there are a lot of like old school problems with this game that like could be smoothed over by quality of life stuff that like maybe they did in 4 and 5. I'm not sure, but. At the end of the day, it was just like, I understand this is a JRPG from like 2004 or 2005. I kind of know what I'm getting into. It's like playing the older Final Fantasies where it's like, I kind of know that like it's going to be a little rough here, but like once I know what I'm doing, it's not that bad. So it's a little antiquated, but I still think what is there is really fucking solid and works really well.
I think you're very valid on that. I think that's the 9's great. It's a great game.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 9 as well. I don't think it's a perfect 10. I was thinking about that, and I was like, it is a really fun game. I really like the monster capturing in it. I like the monster fusing. I thought that was kind of cool. It gave you a lot of control over evolving your characters. And I would just, like, some of the best characters I ended up coming up with were just trash mobs that I would capture just to see what I could do with them.
Yeah, 100%.
And you would do it was like a family diagram. It's like you do like these two trash mobs, you make this guy, then you do these other two trash mobs, make this guy, these two fuck, and then you fuck that guy with your secondary guy, and then they make a super awesome character. And it was cool because you can control the abilities, shit like that. And it was annoying when they would can you let me change something within me? And it was always the one thing you didn't want to change. Then you'd have to decide, do I really want to go back to my save point? Or am I just going to fucking eat it? And almost every time I ate it, one of the times I was like, fuck you.
There is that RNG element where it's like every time you level up to, it's like, oh, your Magatama is like festering inside of you. Do you let it continue? And it's like, I always go, yeah. And then most of the time it just healed me or my party. But there were 3 times where it's like, you're poisoned. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I didn't get poisoned. I got fucking paralyzed every time.
I got paralyzed all the time when I allowed it. So I was just fuck you.
One of the ones I think we talked about that I don't think happened to you guys, but happened to me with RNG, at least the last time we talked months ago, was I fused, no, this one was a long time ago. I fused a demon, and it gave me a shitty demon instead, and he was like, oh, that happens sometimes.
Yeah, there's a chance for the demon fusion to fucking fail, and you get a slime or whatever.
So I was so pissed. I was like, no, it was one of my best ones.
Well, because that also happens in Persona. They kept that for Persona.
Back. I was like, that's one time I was like, fuck it, turned my game off, went back on. I was like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
And then I got the guy that I wanted, but I was so pissed. I was like, no, this game shits on you every chance it gets, and even when I think I'm safe.
It's a rough world out there, man.
It's a hard game, dude. It's a tough fucking game.
100% it is. You guys make me want to give it a 9, but I'm giving it an 8 for gameplay. I enjoyed it for sure. Great game. There's just a couple things that really pissed me off. And I'm just gonna be stubborn about it.
The one guy I'm talking to on Discord who heard you say that you got a slime by accident because the fusion failed just said skill issue.
Fuck off! It's RNG, damn it. But yeah, so I mean, I'm gonna give it an 8. I had fun for sure, but I can see, or I guess spoilers for replayability. That's not even replayability. I'm excited to get Shin Megami Tensei 5, whatever the fuck.
Vengeance.
Title, Vengeance, to see what quality of life things have been put into that game, and what, 2 more games in that series plus Persona gives us. I was telling A4 before this that I'm pretty sure I have Stockholm Syndrome for this game.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's rough, dude.
It digs its heels in you. You're like, man, you're fucking me, but you're fucking me good. So
oh, God, it's like...
It's not Conan Exile's fucking me good, but it's like...
It's like...
No.
It's like
you're hitting some sort of spot. It's not the G spot, but it's a spot.
I mean, I'm having the abuse, but I'm like, I think I love you. It is what it is. And enough that I'm gonna get Vengeance when it comes out.
I mean, it's obviously not Conan Exiles because these aren't straight fucking 10s. But...
I can't wait until we all review Conan Exiles and you end up giving it 7s across the board.
I think Schweiss has to go for the gold and just give it 10s on everything.
I mean,
fuck you guys. You guys are rigging this.
It would be funny if he did give it straight 10s, or it would be funnier if he just decided it didn't get straight 10s. Either way, it's funny. What do you think about the graphics and design of Shin Megami Tensei 3?
The HD version looks great. I don't know what the original version looks like, but I think the HD
looks like shit.
It probably looks the same, just lower res. I think
it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad.
I think it looks fine. I think the graphic design of this game is very cool. Like I said, a lot of very otherworldly, esoteric designs that sort of make you feel uncomfortable, but at the same time, you sort of become accustomed to them over time, and they become familiar in a weird way. It's very alien, but
yeah, like Tron. You're like Tron the whole game,
Well,
pretty much.
I mean, like, your guy has, like, Tron tattoos or whatever, yes, but, like, I mean, the design of, like, all of the areas in the game where, like, everything, it's like a ruined Tokyo, and everything kind of has, like, this weird ruined vibe to it, but, like...
Well, it's like a circle, like, everything is, like, connected and, like, a...
Well, the Vortex world is, like, a big sphere, yeah, but, like, I mean, like, you go to, like, areas in Tokyo, and it's all ruined, but at the same time, like, it still kind of has this homeliness to it, where, like, we've taken this ruined world, and we sort of, like, made a society out of it. And, like, in that weird way, it still kind of feels like...
We live in a society.
It's, it's hard to describe, but, like, yeah, over time, you sort of become accustomed to, like, the ruined world that you found yourself in. And you're like, yeah, Ikebukuro, yeah, all the windows and all the shops are fucking shattered, but, like, it's still kind of nice here. You go to, like, Shibuya, and it's like, oh man, like the windows aren't broken here, and there's like a nice club where like Thor and Nyx are hanging out.
There was one of the cities that you walk into, and it's like just a normal. It still looks normal. There's just demons everywhere. The one you go into the basement of, like it's not Ikebukuro. Is it Shibuya?
Yeah.
That to me was so fucking funny because you're just like walk into this thing, and it's like everything looks the same. There's like fountains and green, and it's just demons instead of people. Then everywhere else is fucking fuckhold.
Isn't that the one where what's his face is the penis?
I didn't fight.
I didn't get Mara because
you guys didn't fight Mara.
I don't know if Mara's in my version of the game or not.
That was brutal, man. I barely made it because it would like heal for like fucking fuck ton every time.
Oh,
like this penis, man. It's like it's so realistic. Like you beat it down, you rip it up, and it's healed the next day. Craziness.
That's
for listeners who don't understand the context, Mara is a giant penis monster on a chariot.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet.
I don't know if Mara is even in the version I played. Like, it might only be in the Maniacs version or something. But yeah,
I feel cheated that I had to fight all these other bosses.
I had to fight it. I saw it in the guide, and I was like, "Yep, we're doing it. We're going. Gotta fight the penis."
I didn't fight the what is it? The Onis in the subway.
Oh I did that.
I opted. I asked you.
I fought one, and I was like, good.
I was like, A4. Do you think I should fight these, like to level up, or what do you think? And he was like, "Why fought him?" And I was like, "Nah, fuck you. I'm not doing it."
I probably would have just told you, "Nah, don't do it."
Isn't that the one where there's lava everywhere and like there's a bunch of them? It's like not the subway, but it's under the subway. And you're
no, because there's like 3 dungeons in this game that are all like under the subway. But yeah, there's one where like you fight like 4 different demons, but you have to fight like the first 3 before you get to the last guy. And the bullshit thing about the last guy is you can't figure, like, he makes 4 copies of himself. He makes like 3 copies of himself, so there's 4 of him. You can't figure out which one's the real one unless you're on a full Kagetsuchi, a full moon. And only then does it show you which the real one is by, like, him having a shadow. And I'm like, there's, like, a whole, like, half to full moon phase that you could have done this on, but it's only on the full moon phase. That's bullshit. I have to look that shit up.
It's interesting they did that with him because, like, the coffin dude that fucked me up, that's the only way to find him, too, is if, like, you have to, like, look at this ground and, like, faintly see that this coffin has...
There's a room of statues, and, like, the statue that doesn't have a reflection is the guy you have to, like...
But it's so hard to
do the
see.
boss.
It was so
I just randomly did it until I got it. I was like,
They keep shooting you back out.
Like, I just did it. Yeah.
Funny.
Just do it.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Demons are all fucked up looking, but they're unique.
They look great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, like I said, they've been reusing these demon designs basically since the first Shin Megami Tensei. So
just
for like
keep
30
updating
years.
them.
Kind of, sort of. Like, again, like, they'll take these models and slightly update them for, like, the PS4, PS3 generations, like when Persona 5 came out. And Persona 3 and 4 did not use the same, like, demons. They did for the Personas, but, like, the enemies you fight are just, like, generic black blobs with masks on. But then with Persona 5, they changed it back to, you're fighting the demons again that you can recruit. And they just basically upped the poly count on these demons. It's kind of like when you get like Pokemon and you like up their poly count from like the 3DS to the Switch between Generation 6 and Generation 8 or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Real quick, one of the things going back to gameplay I was going to talk about and I forgot about. I like that you can like fuse into bosses you fought before. So like one of the people I used for a while was Clotho, because you could just straight up fuse for her.
Yeah,
which was dope as shit. And then running into bosses you fought before and just wrecking this time because they're not as good was awesome.
Well, yeah, because like Nyx is running the bar in the one town, and then like I eventually fused her for the end of the game.
Well, that's what I changed Clotho into.
Which is funny too, because Nyx is also like the final boss of Persona 3, as far as I remember.
That's cool. Graphics and design, I think I will stick with. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a 9. I was gonna give it an 8, but I'm gonna give it a 9. I like the designs. Designs look great. I don't think it looks like a bad game at all, especially for an HD. I mean, it's an HD remaster, but I think all the designs are like different enough. I haven't played any of the other Persona games or Shin Megami Tensei games, so I have no idea that these were reused or constantly used in other games. So I mean, I think they look good.
Like I said, I liken it to Dragon Quest, where like if you go back and play like the early Dragon Quest games, the design of the slime or like the green dragon, they just like repurpose those into 3D for like the newer games, where it's like the same pose and everything from Akira Toriyama's artwork. It's the same thing with this.
I thought it was very brave of them to draw so many demon dicks.
Yeah, that's pretty ballsy.
Fucking so funny. I didn't like. I think I sent you guys a picture of the first game, and because like you guys played it, started it before I did, and I was like, no fucking way.
I was surprised. It's like, man, there's a lot of cock.
There really is, and not enough tits, honestly.
Yeah, man, yeah. It's like the great lie on movies. It's like partial nudity. Like, am I going to get tits or am I going to get man ass? It's mostly man ass, which is always funny, but never. It's never what you're looking for.
So, Schweiss, what would you give graphics and design?
What did you give it? An 8?
I give it a 9.
A 9? Okay. Yeah, I'll give it an 8. I think it's good. It's a good looking game. The remaster's solid. The areas, I feel like the areas kind of reminded me of Armored Core a little bit. It's just kind of like sandy cities. I really hate the overworld map where I play as a triangle with a circle head.
You play as the fucking thing from The Sims, the plumb bob.
Yeah. So I really did not like that. And the main map,
that's a carryover from the SNES games, I should mention.
Oh, well, they should have left it behind.
Yeah.
I don't know. Overall, though, I didn't dislike the look of the game. There's some hot demons in there. A lot of dick, which is funny. And brave. Like, I was surprised. Because, I remember God of War, they were talking about how, like, the Neo God of War, they had, like, balls for the...
and dick. No, they had full cock and balls out for the Cyclopses. And
they had to get rid of it. And I'm like, well, Shin Megami Tensei didn't have to get rid of it. They got little peens all over this place, dude. Like... Those little dudes, those little dancer guys with their pot bellies and their tiny micro peens, like, they're everywhere.
Well, you got
so where's my Cyclops cock?
The little red guy that lights, like, he's like hanging back like this and flapping his fucking massive fucking...
The fucking incubus?
And he's
the incubus. Yeah, those guys are funny. It's like, it's a lot of cock, but, like, it's funny, It's
I
like
think the closest thing you get to like, actual, like, nudity for, like, women in that game is the healer. Because, like, she's got, like, her little, like, red thing with, like...
and she always talks to you like someone's flicking her bean.
No, you get like the pixie right away. You get the succubus. You get the angel. You get a bunch.
It's like when you ask her to heal you, you like hit the little setting on the little fucking vibrator thing you got, like on your phone, the vibrator app on your phone that she's got shoved up her ass. She's fucking like,
it's called Lovins. Get it right.
Got that thing at like 100, just fucking slapping around her fucking cheeks. It's like. It's in there just like bouncing off the fucking walls, bro. Like a photon. It's going crazy. But yeah, no, she was kind of hot. But it is mostly cock. Yeah, it's weird. Like,
I think
There's a giant cock and the boss.
I feel like it's only weird because it's not the norm. Because usually that's the stuff that gets told no.
Yeah.
And they're like tits everywhere. Like that's fine. Like and it's I mean I prefer titties, I'll be honest with you. But it is very different from the norm. I know what you prefer, you and Joe, but like it's just one of those.
Everyone's a horn dog in this game too. There's like horny demons. Like
they really
with their
are.
dicks out. Like, yeah.
A4, what are you gonna give?
I know you gave it a 9, and I know Schweiss gave it an 8. I gotta give it a 7 because there are so many dungeon designs that repeat themselves, specifically the fucking, like, subway dungeons, where there's 3 of them and they're just palette swaps of each other, which is really upsetting. There's also, it's the enemy faction. It's the Assembly of Nihilo. Their like underground thing is the same as like a couple other dungeons later in the game where it's like hallways that are just made of like circles. And it's just like, yeah, I've seen this before. So like there is some cool design shit here, but like they really stretch their resources thin with like, yeah, I'll just take this same like tile set, for lack of a better word, from like an older RPG and just fucking palette swap it to be different. And I'm like,
yeah, and that is kind of crazy in like a 40+ hour game. It's like,
I get it. It's a PS2 game. I get it. It's a PS2 game, but like, man, give me something else to look at.
Like, so's FF10, and it's older than this game, and there's...
Yeah, and FF10's like only sin is the Cloister of Trials, really.
Yeah, that's its only crime against humanity. That's the only Geneva Convention worthy item.
And you mean the Geneva Sphere, which like destroys certain sigils or whatever the fuck. Yeah, I give it a 7 because like I said, there's a lot of really cool designs in this, and it's really neat to see all of these various designs from the Mega 10 series fully realized in 3D. But like I said, just the fact that you basically play through the same fucking dungeon like 3 times in a row with those subway dungeons, it's like I can't in good faith give this anything higher. It's really
I mean, you could have played one of them with the lights off.
Yeah, I could have. Thankfully I had a demon that had Lightoma, so I could just light up the darkness until I take 2 steps and then realize I was at the end of the new Kagutsuchi, so I had to do it again. But like, yeah.
Lightoma, that sounds like cancer.
Mm-hmm. Well, I felt like I was getting cancer when I was going through those dungeons and being like, let there be light. And I take 2 steps and it's like, oh, the darkness because the new Kagutsuchi. I'm like, I have to do it again?
I didn't realize that's what dude, I was like oblivious to that shit.
It resets at the new Kagutsuchi.
Until the guide told me to not be oblivious to it, I was like, man.
Yeah.
We just ran out of light faster that time. It seemed shorter, but...
yeah. So I give it a 7.
All right, what about sound and music?
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the soundtrack, voice acting, all that jazz?
I think the voice acting is new for the HD version, to be fair, but it was good, and I really like the soundtrack of this game. I think it's really cool. It's got a modern vibe to it, but sort of has that sort of ethereal, kind of mysterious, like flavor to it. Especially like that overworld music. I love that fucking overworld music. And I know we've complained about the battle music and the robot going no. But it really grew on me after a while because it's like a good ass guitar riff. Like really the only problem I have with that music is like the fucking like digitized vocals. But even then I was like, I don't even know what the fuck they're saying, so who cares?
Yeah.
Well, the times I
so annoyed.
The times I did play this on the TV and had the sound on, Rachel will just look up every time we get a fight. She'd be like, "This is anxiety inducing." Like, I don't understand how you're doing this.
She gets it. It's like, yeah, that's really...
Because it's like this cool-ass guitar riff, and it's like... But the whole time it's like... No, to the point where, like, people online still don't really know what the lyrics are to these songs.
Oh, I can't imagine why.
Yeah.
I don't think there are lyrics, it's just noise.
I'm wondering if my neighbors... Like, a few times we had, like, the screen door open, to like for a breeze when I was playing this on the TV in the living room. And I wonder if my neighbors think some of the music says like "sick shit." Fucking hate this game. I wonder if they think, because I was pretty loud.
I will say what hurts this game in the sound and music department, at least in the HD version, is that like apparently they didn't have access to the fucking uncompressed music. Like the music files, at least for the battle music, is like super compressed, which is what it was on the PS2 version. But like if you go on like Spotify or whatever, like those high quality tracks exist. So like I don't know why they're not on the game, but like I don't know why when I get in a battle all of a sudden the music quality dips to like 16 kilobytes per second. So that was kind of annoying, but I did like the compositions. Like I love stuff like the overworld music and some of the town music, like in like Ginza or Ikebukuro and stuff. I really like the Cathedral Shadows music because you hear it a lot.
Yeah.
But like just sort of like just sort of like feels really like eerie, but at the same time kind of like mystic. I like the soundtrack a lot. I honestly would give Sound of Music on this like a 9. The soundtrack's really good.
I'm gonna give it an 8. I think it's pretty solid. Voice acting solid. None of it really, other than the annoying shit, like none of it really super stands out. That's the only reason why I dock it a little bit. Mm-hmm. Overall, solid though. The voice acting is good. You know, the music mostly forgettable, but never like super annoying, except for the one that's not forgettable or good. Everything else though I dug, you know, and like the voice acting, some of it was hilarious. Like some of the demons, like the one-liners they would have, is fucking gold. Yeah. Like they did a good job localizing this shit and making it like funny. And like at first I was like, is this game just weird or is it like low-key hilarious? And then eventually I was like, no, it's fucking hilarious, like a lot. And a lot of that came from the voice acting and like the way they would read the lines. Like it was just fucking, it was gold.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was good. Good. What about you, Zach?
I'm gonna give it a. No, just kidding. I'm gonna give it an 8 as well. I'm gonna give it an 8 as well. Yeah, give it 8 as well. It was good, man. I really liked the voice acting. Honestly, I thought it was really good and pretty redeeming for some of the repetitive music that punches you in the head.
I did like the localization of this too. Like, I think they did a good job.
Yeah, agreed. All right, so the last category, some would say the most important category, especially those who want all 7,000 endings to their Shin Megami Tensei games. Replayability. How likely are you guys to replay this? How likely are you to pursue the series?
Thank you, Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne.
What do you guys think?
So seeing as how I played the vanilla version and not the Maniacs version you guys did, I'm definitely planning on replaying this at some point in the future.
Man, I gotta wonder how easy the normal version is. Everyone must just be a pussy, because I always heard for years how hard this game was. And it was tough.
It's not,
but like,
I wouldn't call it easy, but like I didn't have to fight Matador or whatever. Like that might have tripped me up early game before I realized the importance of the buffs and the debuffs. But like, it was still a challenge. Like, that final dungeon was still, like, raping me over the coals the whole time.
Yeah, fuck.
I do have the Switch version, which, again, the console versions, when you hit new game, defaults to, like, the Maniacs version, which is what you played. I could access it on the PC version as well, because I have the DLC. So, I do plan to, at some point, play through this again and get, like, the true experience of, like, the complete version. I don't know if I would get the true demon ending, but I would try my damnedest. And I would like to at least try to see what some of the other endings are for the other reasons. So I would give this like an 8 because like the pull is there. I'm just not feeling it right now because I just beat it obviously for like 40 hours. But I wanted to play it again at some point. I really liked this game, and I could see myself revisiting this in a few years just to try my hand at the actual version you guys played and try to get a different ending.
Yeah. I am going to actually mirror yours 100%, and for the exact same reasons. I'm going to give it an 8, because I do want to replay it. I do want to try to get that true demon ending, and I'd like to get Dante, now that I know you can get him. I Also, ours gives us a new game plus option, which is kind of cool, and I don't know what that's going to entail, but
I think it just saves like your demon compendium, but yeah, like, you know.
Well, but still, I mean, it'd be sick to go through and just redo it, like, you know, do it. And honestly, I do want to try the demon ending because I guess you fight all the same bosses, but then you fight fucking Satan.
Yeah, you fight Lucifer at the end, which I think is supposed to be like the little kid from the beginning of the game. I think that's supposed to be Lucifer. I'm just purely basing this on speculation, but yeah.
If you do the cultists and stuff, they still pop up quite a bit, and they talk to you and stuff. But
yeah,
I mean, I definitely
that's like never. That kid and the old lady are never like explained, so I'm like, okay, if anyone's going to be like the secret big bad guy of this, it's going to be that little kid. But yeah.
And definitely the 8 too, because I do want to play Shin Megami Tensei 5. Like, I do have a wanting to play that now, which I would not have had before this.
Yeah, this is making me want to pick up like 4 and Apocalypse for the 3DS and also 5 Vengeance for the Switch eventually. So,
yeah, definitely an 8. What about you, Schweiss?
I agree. I don't want to play it again, and I don't really want to play the new ones, but there's a lot of replayability in this game. And it's not that I don't like the game. It's just, I think I'm RPG'd out right now for a little while.
Oh, what? Fucking 100 hours of Rebirth didn't do that to you? And like Bravely Default or whatever?
I did a list of all the RPGs that I've beaten, and I've got it in my little notepad here. Dude, it's a big fucking number. It's like 87. That's a lot of fucking... No, it's 88 now. That's a lot of RPGs, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's a shitload of RPGs. So, like, I'm just like... I'm going to take it easy. I'm just going to go to the Exiled Lands, kind of like, you know, enslave some people. I don't know. Have some fun.
Build an elevator. Who knows?
Yeah, elevator to the sky, to the gods, you know. I don't know. I do see there's a lot of replayability in there. There's a bunch of different paths you can take. There's a bunch of different demons you can explore. There's a lot of replayability in the game. I just don't think I will partake of it. But I don't think it's fair to knock it for that either. So I'm going to give it a solid 8. There's a lot here. And it was already a long game to begin with. So, like, it's got a lot of gameplay in it. So I would give it an 8 out of 10 for sure. All right. Last thoughts on Shin Megami Tensei 3. I say glad I played it. It's a good game. It's a good game. You know, I'm glad at the end of this podcast here, even though I was crushing games like mad, that they've been mostly good games. You know, the last few have been pretty good titles. So I'm glad. I would
definitely agree with that. We've been pretty lucky in the last, like, I mean, you didn't like. I mean, I guess Joe's one who didn't like Ocarina of Time. You didn't really dislike it, but I mean,
yeah, I wasn't blown away by Ocarina, but yeah.
I think we've been pretty lucky, honestly, with these ending games.
Well, and
now it's Conan Exiles. So.
I've always heard good things about Shin Megami Tensei 3, and I never actually played the Mega 10 series proper, despite having played Persona 4 and 5. So, like, knowing that Shin Megami Tensei 3 was a good jumping on point for that, I'm glad I finally played this. I think this game is really cool, and I can see why people wanted you guys to play this forever.
Do we need to tag Erasmus or whatever? Let him know we finally. Or who was the person that gave us this?
I think it was dude, I think it was fucking Shinru.
I was gonna say Shinru was the name that stuck in my brain.
He's like one of the first listeners Joe and I ever had, period. So
we should probably
a long time coming.
Should probably make sure we tag him in this. And thanks for you know what? Thanks for asking Joe, Schweiss, Cameron, and Craig to play this game, and then having none of them play it, but Schweiss.
Yeah.
A4 had to fucking play this game.
To be fair, I think I have the RPG, the taste buds to appreciate a game like this better than Cam or Craig, but, you know.
I think what would have happened, dude, is, one, glitch galore, because Craig always finds glitches no matter the game, and the RNG would have fucked him, and 2, I think Cameron, it would have been a replay of Persona 5
where he beats half the game in a night.
Yeah.
But honestly though, thanks for recommending this game, and I was mad at you for a long time.
Dude, someday those chats are gonna leak from the Nude clan chat where it's like, I fucking hate this game. Fuck.
Yeah.
And then, like, well, the one between me and A4, too, because I said A4 a few minutes. I'm like, fuck this, I'm done with this shit. And honestly, that's why I had to stop and play Final Fantasy 16 a couple times, because I was getting fucking angry. And I was like, I'll just go stab things with my sword for a little bit, and then I'll go back and...
Yeah, there you go.
But, yeah, no, solid game, dude. Awesome game. Cool to have it in my repertoire of games beaten.
Yeah, I got it on my list of 80,000 RPGs beaten.
How many hours do you got pissed away of your life?
I don't want to know.
You should do that next. Just record all the hours it took you to beat all those.
I mean, I think I have it on How Long to Beat. I probably logged all of them. Honestly.
You probably did. Oh, yeah.
Scotty is bullshit. She just absorbs physical damage. I hate this game with all of my heart.
Yeah. There's some good ones. Zach was getting so mad, and I was loving it. I was eating it up.
It was bad, dude. But again, I really did enjoy it.
That's the thing. It's like, this game's a douchebag, but it's fun.
I told you, it's why we have Stockholm Syndrome. We do. It's 100% what it is. Every person who enjoys this game is fucked in their head.
It feels like a rite of passage game, to be honest. Like, it was tough, and there were times we hated it, but I'm glad I experienced this game.
One of my buddies a couple times was like, hey, get on and play Helldivers with us. And I was like, I can't. I need to play Shin Megami Tensei 3. And he'd be like, I fucking love that game. It's such a good game, dude. Good choice. And I'm like, is it?
You're like, fuck you.
Is it?
Yeah. And he... yeah. I was like, all right, man. But, okay, so the funny part, too, actually, I just thought about, I have this game on 2 consoles now, because not only did I get it for Switch, but I originally planned on playing it on the aux TV on my PlayStation 2. And then
there you go.
Decided against it because I was like, I'd rather have it handheld and be able to take it places.
Yeah,
and,
I did a lot of it at work and
I almost break. Yeah, I did a little bit on my cruise, on vacations, and like at home. Like it was just easier to like be able to, like. I think it was much more palatable too, to be able to hang out in the living room, have Rachel like she had something on, so I could like break my concentration a little bit. So if I was getting frustrated, I could just stop for a second and be like, "Hey, this is a game. This is stupid. It's okay."
Yeah. That's fair.
But yeah, maybe I'll beat it on PS2 one day and then get all the anger of like fusing bullshit. I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So
what are those final scores, baby?
Recap of the scores. Story 8s across the board. Gameplay 9 from A4, 9 from me, 8 from Zach. Sound and music 9 from A4, 8s for me and Zach. Graphics and design 7 for A4, 8 for me, 9 for Zach. Replayability 8s across the board for a combined matching score of 41 out of 50 for each host. That is 123 out of 150, which averages to an 82 out of 100 for Shin Megami Tensei III Nocturne. So it is as good as The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, according to this podcast. So take
Story's better. I like Ocarina of Time too, but this one definitely has more of a story. So. But man.
Yeah, there it is, man.
Pretty respectable.
Yeah, it's as good as Devil May Cry 5, Fractured But Whole, Burnout Revenge, Dying Light, Last Guardian. But not as good as Fable. It's just fact. So, it sounds like the murders have begun upstairs.
I was gonna say, your kids are fucking running, dude. It sounds like my fucking neighbor upstairs is fucking
during this and like during the, I think it was the 16 review, I'm just hearing blood curdling screams in the background.
Yeah. I just wish it was me up there delivering them. But guys,
I'm on that wheel of pain, and
that's right. Yeah, we're nearing the end of the pod. We got a couple more movies. One, I think it's just one, but
it's one movie and one game.
One movie and one game, so it'll be a minute until we talk again.
I was saying how we need to keep it going until Sonic 3 comes out, but actually Borderlands comes out before that, and I do not want to watch that fucking thing. So.
Well, guys, go download Conan Exiles, and Zach, pop your cherry, bro. It's going to be a fantastic experience.
I guess I have to talk to Phantom JD about getting a free PS5 now.
Yeah. Anyway, though, I got to go make sure everyone's still alive upstairs. So until next time, guys, as always, live always in the nude.
Walk with your Magatama held high. Fuck off!